Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. How is everybody on this fabulous day? It's a little chilly out here today. Still nice, but a little bit chilly. I just realized, actually, that my husband's going to be working on Sunday. The room service guy's going to be working on Sunday. So it's just going to be me and the kids for Mother's Day. Gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I mean? Gotta work when you gotta work. I totally understand it. But I'm sad. I'm not gonna say I'm not sad. I'm pretty sad. Also, ladies, best smell ever. If you do not own this, you should probably ask your husband and or significant other for it for Mother's Day. It is Sol de Janeiro's Bum Bum Cream, but in a spray. It's 62. It's number 62. And it smells like a tropical wonderland. I absolutely love this smell. I have the little tiny cream to go with it, the little bum cream, that's what it's called. But Sol de Janeiro, number 62, this is my favorite smell, aside from Burberry Brit, which is my favorite perfume. And God, I remember back in the day, that perfume, and I don't know how much it is now, I haven't bought it in years, but it used to be like $95 for like a decent sized bottle, like about this big. It was square and it had the Burberry lines on it. Although there's like a perfume and then a toilette, and the one that I got is a toilette, but it smells amazing. I saw it recently. I feel like it was TJ Maxx or something, but it was like a smaller bottle and it was still like $65. I was like, that is crazy. But it's a good gift asking your hubbies for something like this. It smells good. It's a little on the expensive side if you buy like the whole set, but if you just get the spray, it's like $20 for the spray. This is a decent size. I think this one's actually, the small one's like 17 and the big one's 29. I forget. I had a gift card I got for Christmas that I got mine with, and my kids got me a set for Christmas, the little mini set. So I have plenty of it. It's small. I got my I got her the small version of this for Easter, and she was so excited to have it. So excited. She's one of those kids who is now getting into like, I want to go to Ulta and Sephora. And as you moms and dads know, Ulta and Sephora is freaking expensive. I barely shop there anymore. Maybe once a year with a gift card. But it's expensive. So the kids don't often get things from there, so she was super excited to have a couple things. I also found a couple things at TJ Maxx that would be found at Ulta, but for way less. And so I popped a couple of those into her Easter basket, and she was super, super happy. So she also loves like putting press-on nails or like glue-on nails on. She's a diva, she's a diva. I'll tell you that much. So there's a lot of hearings next week. Next week is going to be a tough one. With the Yellow Brick Road, what happened to the Yellow Brick Road? So there's going to be a lot of hearings next week. I think there's, off the top of my head, I can think of 4. One for Karen Reed and a few for the Sewer Turtle, right? And the Sewer Turtle's doing his quote mega joke. That's what I call it. It's a mega joke. The mega motion that Harold and the Purple Crayon, aka Bedrow, wrote to the judge in like 88 pages, which could have been like 40 pages if he just stopped repeating himself and speculating and doing a bunch of innuendo in a court filing. But the mega motion itself is a giant joke. And I have no doubt in my mind that it'll easily be denied. And then the judge, what I really want to hear and what I think I'm going to hear is the judge asking to move the court case up. Hello, darling. Hello. I do think that you're going to hear the judge ask about moving his trial up, because at this point, there's no reason for it to be all the way in November. He's not waiting for Karen's phones. They don't have to have a team go through it. That's not happening anymore. And the judge did mention a while back that if that had happened and the judge ruled against it, oh, thank you, LTG. That was so nice of you. Marsha, my friend, how are you? Who got them? See, I actually think I have a couple to give. It's past the first of the month, right? Let's see. Caleb, Mom of a Gladiator, Carolyn, Breezy the Barber, Law Crawl 737. So I totally forgot, TGIF, my friends, I totally forgot that on the first of the month they give 10. They give us 10 to give away. Where are they? And most creators don't. Hey, Ruthie! They don't because, I don't know, because they're assholes and because you're not making any money off of giving those away, right? I think YouTube's incentive was you give 10 away and then hopefully the people then renew their, their membership to your channel to support you, like whatever, right? Hey, girl, how are you? But I think that was the whole thought behind YouTube giving them. A lot of people don't give them away because they're not making any money off of them. You're losing money essentially because those people could have bought their own. But I like giving them away. I just like giving them away. So fuck that noise. We're giving them away. Let's see. Membership gifting. Oh, here's my 10 memberships. Send 5 now. Wow. We'll do 5 now and 5 at the end. That's what we'll do. Because there's some people not here right now. Oh, look at that. I love it. I love to see people who are here all the time get one. Love's got one. Cam C, Logic and Reason, Amanda Brown, Kesha Renee. Congratulations, all y'all, for getting your memberships. Appreciate you. I love to see the green in the chat. I love to see the green. I love to see it. If you haven't gotten your membership for the channel, there's many ways to get them. You can gift them. You can get them yourself. You did that early, so you reminded me to do this early. If you'd like to support the channel, there are many ways you can support the channel. We're a small channel, so we could definitely use all the support we can get. We don't have a Sunday show this week because it's Mother's Day, and I'm going to spend the day with my daughters, probably doing like an in the house movie day with the girls. Not really having the extra money to be going anywhere, so in the house, I think we're gonna pop some popcorn and do like a girls' day movie. I just realized my husband's gonna be working. I just realized this morning. Originally, his days off were Sundays, but recently he had to switch them to Saturdays and say he has to work one weekend day, unfortunately, for his job. So they originally were Sundays, but because his season for softball, for travel ball, has started, usually their games for the tournaments are on Saturdays. So he recently switched to Saturdays instead of Sundays. And so he'll be working on Sunday. And I just realized that. I don't even think he realizes yet that he's going to be at work on Mother's Day. I'm going to have to remind him today when he gets home. So I'm not going to lie. I was a little sad about that. I was a little sad. I was a little bit sad that he has to work on Mother's Day. I was a little sad. I am a little sad. It sucks. It sucks. I would love to be able to spend the day with not just the girls, but him too. I mean, we weren't doing anything crazy. Like, it's the beginning of the month. I hate that Mother's Day is the beginning of the month too. Like, y'all need to move it until the middle or end of the month. The beginning of the month is hard. Well, really, the end of the month is hard too. But, rent was just paid by most people on the 1st. Like, there's no extra money to be going anywhere and doing anything. Oh, my good friend, New Hampshire. Dude, I always love listening to Benny. But to be fair, I will be on the phone with Benny for like 2 or 3 hours at a time. So, so I get to hear his commentary whenever I want. Personal commentary, I guess. So, I absolutely love hearing his commentary, though. Also, Benny's just an all-around good person. Just a good human being, I don't think there's anyone that's ever asked Benny to help them that he said no to. He reminds me a lot of myself. And to be fair, if it wasn't for him, it would have taken me twice as long to get everything out of my old apartment and into the truck to my new apartment if he didn't come and help me and the room service guy. So I appreciate Benny beyond repair, my friends, because if it wasn't for him coming out and helping me and the room service guy move stuff into the moving truck when we were moving, it would have taken us twice as long to do it. I'm pretty useless when it comes to like really heavy or furniture stuff. And so he really helped the room service guy with that kind of stuff. So I appreciate that. Happy Friday, my friends. Happy Friday. Okay, so get back to where I was. So I think you guys will get a kick out of this. So remember I showed you yesterday that Sanchez put a prediction of Sewer Turtle going to jail. Well, technically it is afternoon here, but it is the morning for some people. I feel like 12:30. I know it's a little late for us on the East Coast here, but some people who are on the West Coast, it's 9:30 in the morning for them. So I feel like it's a good balance for like East and West Coast, and those who are in different countries, I think, though, earlier in the morning is better for people in Australia, which sucks because, I got people all over the world. But they do catch me on the replay, which is nice. It's always nice. I'm just keeping myself really hydrated because my throat's been bothering me still. And so, so you're going to have to excuse my taking a sip of something constantly because my throat is still a little raspy there and I can still feel it sort of tickling, if that makes sense. Like, not exactly hurting, but like very raspy and tickling. So keeping my water close. So Sanchez said yesterday, that my best guess is that Turtle Boy will be arrested on or before Thursday, May 14th. The times everyone picked will be valid every day until end of day the 14th. So, it's funny because Aiden's got a lot going on right now. Aiden's got a lot going on right now. He has quite a few people who are not afraid anymore. As we know, Jen went to her local police department and talked to the detectives there. I know of other people who have done the same. And Aiden's troubles aren't over, not by a long shot. He now has 2 civil cases he has to deal with, right? The defamation suit from the Alberts, McCabe's, and Higgins. The defamation suit from Kaylee Kirkpatrick. And I will tell you that those will not be the end of the suits against him. That's not the end by a long shot. So it's going to get real fucking interesting real soon. Let's just put it that way. His troubles have just begun. That karma train has come into the station and has to stop at every stop on the way to get to him. He did it to himself, unfortunately, right? But he's got 2 or 3 hearings coming up in this next week, 14th and the 15th. And I just don't see anything going well for him. Yeah, see, and that's like, that I fully have your back on that. And if you need me for anything, you give them my number, you let them know, like I will happily speak to them, and that's the other thing. Oh yeah, yep, she sure did. She sure did. I mean, he was threatening her and her family. I mean, this is it's unfortunate, but even Jen has said, like, I wish I had snapped out of it sooner, I wish I had snapped out of it sooner. Like, all of my support, you got it, my friend. Absolutely. Anytime. You just call me, text me, I'm one text or one call away, my friend. I have made amazing friendships with some of you that I am blessed to have. And like I was saying yesterday, Nan having to leave X, like, that's not, no one should have to log off or leave X. Like, that's not acceptable, right? We shouldn't accept that as okay, right? People shouldn't have to deactivate or leave social media because they're being harassed by Aiden and his minions. Because let's be honest, even the, in my opinion, crazy lunatic Barry, where do you think he gets some of his behaviors from? It's from, he's a super fan of Aiden, right? Like, he's admitted it 72 times, but like, he's a super fan of Aiden. Then you have him going after people like my friend here, Mr. New Hampshire dude, and Nan, right? Like, it's not hard. Get a clue, like fucking Blue's Clues, all right? They don't want to be friends with you, bro. Like, it's not that hard to just leave people alone. Aiden simply doesn't know how to, and in turn, his, I don't even want to say viewership because it is essentially a cult, right? His cult learns those behaviors from him. See, I have a lot of people who are not getting the notifications in the last couple of days, and I feel like it's been since YouTube changed chat for super stickers. I don't know. They changed super stickers to some, I don't know, got an email. I don't even know if they actually did it yet, but it says they did, that they changed super stickers to, like, I don't know, these things are supposed to, like, have you ever seen on TikTok where people will buy on someone's live stream, like those moving pictures. They're like emojis, but, you know, more exciting. They supposedly changed super stickers, not super chats, but super stickers to that or something similar to that. I have no idea because we haven't gotten a super sticker yet in the last couple of days to see if it does that. But weird. Like, I think since that email came out, people haven't been getting their notifications. So they must have changed something else in the system that like bumped people's notifications to like sometimes instead of all. Which is why I told everybody yesterday, like, it's been a little wonky. So if you're not getting any notifications for the channel, make sure you go back like to the front of my channel where you subscribe, which is free, by the way, and you click on it. Make sure that you click on the bell for your notifications and move it to all, because it's automatically set on, I think, some or recommended or whatever. You have to move it to all. But sometimes YouTube has a weird way of just moving it back on you automatically without you knowing. So sometimes periodically you have to check on it, you know? Oh yeah, the writers have been attacking my good friend here, and of course his job, and also offer stands on that as well. If your job needs to speak to me, I have no problem. I've helped countless victims of these people, and it's always the same song and dance, right? The exact same song and dance. Go after their family, their livelihood, and then their jobs. The only reason that they can't come after my job is I'm this. I do this, right? And essentially, to be fair, they do come after my job. I don't know if I've shared this with you guys, but the lengths that he goes to stop people from supporting my channel is wild. For a small channel like mine, I don't make a ton of money, as you guys see. It's a good day if I make over 100, right? That's a good day for me. And so I don't know, like, no, girl, you are not late this time. Stop it. It's less than 15 minutes. You are not late. You're right on time, my gal, right on time. Also, big shout out to Rose, who sent a donation after we were not live anymore yesterday and said, Happy Mother's Day. I appreciate you, my friend. So essentially, what he does is he actually threatens people. And not just my channel, but Mike's and LTL's as well, although it doesn't have as much of an effect for Mike and Brian because they have bigger channels and they can sort of sustain based on their own like numbers. But Aiden goes to extreme lengths by like threatening people. If he sees, you know, their name pop up, or if someone reads their name to read a donation, which is why I don't read like people's full real names, and why you can remain anonymous anytime you want, just because I like to keep people safe. But he goes to extreme lengths, literally messaging people or sending his minions to message people to like threaten them into not supporting a channel. Or if you do, start incessantly tweeting and then having his writers tweet and tag you, and then here he goes talking about your family, your life, you're this, you're that. You know, it's what he does. You know, well, he loves courting. I feel like he does. You know, I don't understand it, LTG. I mean, one of the things that bothers him the most, right, is that he can't come after my job because I work for YouTube. So what does he do instead? He tries everything he can to disparage my name, to threaten people into not supporting me, into calling me every name in the book, making shit up. Like, there is no length that he won't go to. And it does have an effect, especially for a small channel like mine. There are people who will literally message me and say, like, I really want to help support your channel, but I'm too afraid of dealing with that. And my answer is always the same, which is you can remain anonymous. You don't have to really read your name. You know what I mean? But they're still too afraid. I mean, that speaks volumes of what people have to go through. And again, not just me. He does it to Brian and Mike and, you know, anyone he takes a problem with speaking truth, because he can't have the writers actually figuring out that he's lying to them and that he is actually the one doing all this bad shit and doing some really diabolically insane shit behind closed doors that no normal person would think of to do. You know, I think going after someone's livelihood, like, that's the first thing he did to me, was go after my channel and my livelihood. Like, and I know that some people don't consider this a job, but it is my job, right? This works for my family. It works for my physical disabilities, my PTSD, and my family's composition between, you know, my oldest having a lot of health problems and childcare being about $60,000 a year in Massachusetts, that I can't afford. I physically can't do the career that I did for so long. And I have a lot of specialty appointments, a lot of doctor's appointments, a lot of this, a lot of that. And this works for my family. I can push back a show. I can cancel a show if I'm really sick. You know, you can't do that in a normal job. It's not going to work. This is what works. And I'm still able to do what I love. I'm still able to help people behind closed doors. I'm still able to advocate for people. And even now, so I've been able to help more people because I have more people to reach, right? And in a way, you know, I make in my own way, even if it's a little bit of a difference, I'm making a little bit of a difference. The amount of people who have come to me in the last year and said, I wish I had listened to you. I wish I'd snapped out of this whole sewer turtle cult thing a long time ago. And I'm sorry. Like, I've gotten a lot of apologies. Now, there's a lot of apologies I'll never get, and I've accepted that. But I've gotten quite a few from people you would have never imagined to give an apology like that, right? Because once you're out on the outside of it, you realize, like, oh shit, I now see he did it to her in the same way that he's done it to everyone else, right? And so they're like, I can't believe I actually believe this bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, right? And if you're at least changing one mind or getting one person out of that cult, 2 people out of the cult, 3 people out of the cult, 4 people out of the cult, 5 people out of the cult, like, that makes a fucking difference. That makes a difference. That's one less person who's going to be attacked. It's one less person he can victimize. It's one less person he can take advantage of. It's one less person, right? That's the goal, is to try to attempt to wake people up to what is going on. A lot of these people just defend him endlessly, and his projection is amazing, right? He will project onto everyone else all of the things that he does. So even this morning, I'm reading Twitter, and what is he doing? He's going after Nick again, Nick Rocco. And it's amazing the shit that he was saying to Nick, because it's all the same things he himself has done and is like no longer, you know, in Karen's world. And so he's so jealous about that he's got to try to like shit on Nick. Now, listen, me and Nick are not on the same side of a case, but I can respect that we can agree to disagree on that. And I can also speak out when I see something that's wrong, in the same way that wiretapping Karen was wrong, right? I'm not her biggest fan, but wrong is wrong and right is right. I don't know why it's a foreign concept for some people, turbo riders or people who don't like Aiden, to say, well, I can't get behind you, you know, commenting on Nick's thing because you don't like Karen. Like, people, this is real life, okay? Why you would take so personally my opinion on a case is fucking wild to me, all right? Your opinion might not be the same opinion as mine. Does that mean that we need to like shit on each other, hate each other, insult each other? No, that's not normal. You probably don't agree with your family on quite a few things every single day, or your friends. Do you then shit on them? Do you then say you can't talk to them any longer because they simply don't believe the same thing you do on one thing? I mean, come on. That's ridiculous and nonsensical. Yeah, see, I haven't seen that yet. Is it the same as TikTok, Valley's Girl? I wonder. I mean, that's what someone described it to me as. It's like, it's kind of like TikTok. And I'm like, all I can picture is like the emoji things moving across the screen, which are pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. They're engaging. They're kind of cool, kind of addicting. Way back in the day when I was making more money, I would go onto people's live streams that didn't have a ton of viewers, and I would go and I would give them gifts of those things. You know, I'd buy like a bulk amount of them and just boop, boop, boop. It felt good. It always feels good, you know, to do that. And hopefully one day I'll get back to that. I'm hoping to be able to do a giveaway on the show maybe in the next month or so. Hopefully, if I can swing it somehow, that's what I'm planning on doing. So I want to be able to give back to my viewers in the same way that they give to me. And, you know, the last month has been rough. But that's cool. That is pretty cool. I just got an email about it a couple of days ago. So this is new for me. It used to only be, I think, vertical chats. Now they're doing vertical and horizontal chats, which is like computer and phone. So yeah, Jen, you know, said on her Twitter that's what she was doing. And I can't blame her. You know what I mean? Like, whether you like her or not, you have to agree that what was happening is wrong. You know what I mean? Barry said that, well, even if she was, nothing wrong or illegal about working in that industry. Yeah, no. Thank you, Quit. I appreciate that. I am good at it. I mean, not to be cocky, but I know that I'm good at it. But that's what makes me enjoy it so much, is I know that I am good at being able to help people with these things, you know? I'm good at being able to help people with things like that. And I love doing it, right? There's no better feeling than you're going to get in your heart than helping someone else and knowing that it's making a difference for them. Like, I'm sorry, there's no feeling in the world you're going to get like that. Just knowing how grateful they are, knowing that you were the one that could help them. And hopefully by you teaching them how to do it, they can help someone else, right? They can then help someone else. There's only one of me, but if I can teach so many people to do it, then they can help other people, you know? Well, I mean, to be fair though, you got to think about it. It's also your sanity, your own mental health. Like, sometimes that shit gets to me too. And sometimes it's nice to take a time out for a minute. I have different circumstances. Hey, Justice. I have different circumstances where this is my income. So it's not as easy for me to step away, right? Otherwise, I'm losing money that I put food on the table with. Like being sick for 2 days in the beginning of this week, not ideal. I don't get sick pay, right? Like there's no sick pay. So if I'm not working that day, I make nothing those 2 days. I shouldn't have even been back the third day. I was still at a temperature of 102. I should have been in bed, but I didn't really have a choice. You know what I mean? Like it's life. You gotta life keeps lifing at you. You know what I mean? Like adulting keeps adulting, and you can't just step back and give up. But for her, I can say, like, sometimes you need to, for your own mental capacity, right? For your own mental health, and to just not deal with really awful, shitty people, even if it's just for a minute, But I agree with you that that's the way they've done it for so long, right? In the same aspect, I can say, I agree. That's how they get people to go away, right? That's how they silence people, is bullying them into going away and shutting up. It's something Aiden's been doing for 10 years, and he's taught his minions to do. You don't like what people have to say about you, bully them until they shut the fuck up. Bully them until they go away, harass them until they go away. So, like, it's not black and white, right? There's a gray area there where you don't want people to just up and leave, right? Because it sends the wrong message. It sends like, you can bully me into me leaving. But at the same time, those people still have to be able to get a timeout, right? Of their own mental capacity to be like, you know what? I'm dealing with a lot of negativity here. I need to bring it back down to reality. And so you log off for a little while, you bring it back on, and then you're like, all right, I'm going to come back. Like sometimes you just need that minute. Sometimes you just need that fucking minute. Oh yeah, he personally will like send them messages. I kid you not. Call them, text them, scream and yell at them on the phone. One was a screaming and yelling phone call, and then he demanded that she get online and disparage me, or else he was going to write a blog about it. I kid you not. I can't make this shit up if I tried, Oh yeah. He contacts them. If you magically stop supporting him and you'd been supporting him for a while and he sees that you're supporting someone else, he will literally send you a message and try to coax you back into supporting him by pretending to be nice. And if you fall for it, right, then you fall for it and you run back. If you don't fall for it, the nice turns into anger very, very quickly. And let's just say this person didn't fall for it and they told him no. And he lost his ever-loving fucking mind, right? Screaming, yelling, threatening, like, this. And that's not the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth time he's done it. It's like, this is what we're dealing with. A very unhinged individual and it's like, I love when people are like, he would never do that. He's his bail. Nobody's stupid enough to do that. I have to just laugh when people say it, because the amount of times that man has almost gotten his own bail revoked is fucking astronomical at this point. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't think about that, right? He thinks about that afterwards. He acts on emotion. He doesn't think things through. He acts on revenge, emotion, ego, and then the consequences come kicking in. And he's like, shit, right? That happens after. He doesn't think about it ahead of time. That's just he's not that smart. He's not obsessed with Nick. He's obsessed with the fact that Nick talks to Karen, and he's no longer in the band. Ooh, tomato plants. I always wanted to make pepper plants. I always wanted to do pepper plants. I used to use a lot of peppers. I don't anymore. I do for the family, but not for me, because they're inflammatory. Peppers and onions are inflammatory. I use a lot of garlic because it's good for your gut. But for me, I love peppers and onions, and now I really have to limit my pepper and onion intake because they're inflammatory, and I have inflammation in my entire body, including like in the muscles of my heart. So I can't be eating a ton of inflammatory foods because it makes the pain a lot worse. I actually never thought that would work when the doctor was like, maybe you need to cut out some of the inflammatory foods you're eating. I was like, inflammatory foods, that can't be a thing, right? Like, nope, it's a thing. I never thought it would actually work either. So when I cut them out, like not completely, but a lot, and the pain kind of did go down a little, I was like, this can't be. Like, I didn't think that it was a thing. It is a thing. But yay! It's getting warm out, so your tomato plants should do well. Yeah, there's nothing compassionate. The fact that they think that is sad. Like, I feel sad for them, right? I literally feel sad. I feel fucking sad for them. I really do. Aw. I try to. I give you guys as much time as I can of me and my family. Actually, my husband was actually just saying to me, he's like, why don't we start like a YouTube challenge channel, like where we do challenges, like just crazy random challenges, like spin the wheel and 100, 500, or 100, 150 and $50. And like, you spin the wheel and whatever amount you get, you have to survive 24 hours in the backyard with food, water, tent, shelter, like with whatever amount of money you get. So if you have 50, you're screwed. But I was like, that's just an example, obviously. But I'm like, that would be so fun. Because my husband's like a little kid. Like, he loves doing stuff like that. And my kids love doing stuff like that. So I was like, it's something to think about for sure. But that would be long form videos, not live streams. So it would be interesting, like edited long form videos, which is not something I usually do, but something that the room service guy would be willing to do. Put the room service guy on the YouTube channel. Freaking right. You guys would love him. You would. I don't think I've ever met anybody who didn't love him. It would be very boring if we all agreed on everything. And I agree with Jake here too, in a way. But like, you have to remember, she's being like, not just harassed, but actually really threatened, like by an unhinged lunatic. And so, I'm sure she'll be back. I'm sure she will be. But sometimes you just need to take a minute and let the system do its job. Let the system do it. Yeah, he's been on one of those for quite some time. He gives it a break for a second and then goes back. He just does. Negatory. No, I ever blocked on Twitter. I don't really take kindly to somebody throwing digs at me when all I had ever done was try to help them. So if that's what you're going to do, then I'm just going to block you and not pay any mind to you, at that point. You have to live with treating people that way, not me. I don't treat people that way. It's not the way I operate, not even a little bit. If you want to treat people that did nothing but fucking try to help you and care about you and your kids that way, then that's on you and no one else. I do have some Twitter tales, yes. That's what we should call it from now on. Thank you, Freeze. That's what we're going to call it from now on. Call this segment Twitter Tales. We should make a bumper for that. Twitter Tales. And then just make a bumper for us reading Twitter Tales. Should write that down. I am so bad at remembering things with this brain fog. And you want to know what? These amazing pens that I love so much, Cat's Pajamas got me these. And my legal books. So these are called legal pads just because they're for note taking and they're like a certain size. And that's what it's called, legal pads. But they're pink, duh. They're pink. Oh, crap. Hold on 1 second. I forgot to do something. Hey, Chris. We have this app for the school for the kids. Like, I know most schools do like apps now, but we have this one specific app that the parents have to use. And because my kiddo is parent pickup now, what they call parent pickup, my sister picks her up every single day. I have to go on there and change it. She used to take a bus from our old place. And so it's still set for her to be on the bus, even though she doesn't take the bus. And so every single day I got to go in there and change it to parent pickup before a certain time, before like the end of the day. And I forgot to do that again. Usually I do it around like 12, but I got distracted for a second. It's fairly easy, but this whole using apps thing for school, like we didn't have this when I was a kid. All right. Done. And today's Friday, so all done. Perfect. Okie dokie, artichoke. Yeah, I mean, he's not, as we know, and the karma train is coming into the station at this point. And more people. She took through Route 360. More and more people are starting to step forward. And those consequences are fast coming, you know? Fast coming. You know, I don't know why anyone would want to help him, you know? Nah, this is part of it, but we got lots of Twitter tales to tell. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Oh no. Is she about to cover it? See, that's the thing. Cover it, but cover it honestly, dude. Cover it where you're not just denying or outright ignoring the fact that a lot of harassment and a lot of really ugly shit came out of that case. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Yeah, so I'll tell you another thing. He went through Lindsay's phone extraction, right? And all the messages that people had between each other. And while going through messages, he saw, a couple people that talked to Lindsay that, said some things that he didn't, like about him or agreed with her on something that she said, right? I kid you not when I say he literally texted them or called them and asked them if they had a problem with him. Multiple people. Like, that is literally the epitome of harassment, okay? And witness intimidation. You cannot go through someone's phone extraction who said anything bad about you or anything true about you that you didn't like, and then go call them and text them to be like, you have a problem with me? Because I saw in this phone extraction, you said this, this, and this about me. So do we have a problem? Like, essentially what he was doing is he was calling these people and being like, if you got a problem with me, we can do this. This is what he used to say all the time. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. He was essentially threatening them with writing a blog on them if they had a problem with him. Like, dude, do you know how illegal that is? But do you think he thought twice before doing it? Do you think he talked to his lawyers before doing it? No. Nope, he had no problem calling these people. So then I'm getting phone calls from them and text messages from them. And they're like, you'll never guess what just happened. I'm like, what? And they're like, he just called us. He just texted us. He clearly went through Lindsay's phone extraction, and now he's getting our numbers and calling us and like threatening us. Like, who the fuck does that? Who the fuck does that? You know? But yes, exactly like that. Anybody who donates to him, I would say beware, right? Because what happens is if you no longer donate to him or you realize he's a piece of shit and you say so on Twitter, he goes back into his donations and gets all of your information, your name, your phone number, your email address, your freaking address, and uses that to then look up other things about you and to harass you and your family. I would fucking never, dude. First of all, I don't get any of that information, obviously, when someone Venmos me or Cash Apps me or even PayPal. I get their email and their name. That's, you know what I mean? Email and their name. And for my like debit or credit card links, the link that I have made, the one that's pinned to the top of the chat right now that anybody can donate to the channel, like any amount from debit or credit, that itself, like, will give me their name and email address. Once in a blue moon, I will email someone to say thank you if I don't think that they heard me say it here or whatever. But I could never be like, oh, this person no longer supports me. Let's go get all of their information out of my stuff and go on harassing them. Like, who the fuck does that? That is unhinged. That is lunatic shit. No one in normal life is going to be like, oh, this person doesn't support me anymore and they support someone else, so I'm going to go harass them now. Instead of just saying, okay, well, they support someone else. It is what it is. Like, that's not a fucking hard thing, It's really freaking not. Oh, Jack. Jack says 1664. I love the random amounts, Jack. And he says, have a nice day. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It's Twitter jail time. I really hope that she doesn't ignore it. I hope that people stop ignoring it, Hey, girl. He was finally served with your thing? Oh, God, he's going to rage the fuck out. He's going to rage the fuck out. So Kylie here filed her own defamation suit against him. I've been telling you guys this, and she had him out to be served for, I think it's like almost over a week now. So was he finally fucking served? What took so long? Jeez. Oh. Details because they're a bunch of donkeys. Pretty much, Rose. Pretty much. But yes, defamation. She has a defamation case. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any of her coverage of the Karen Read case, so I can't say. I was just responding to a comment, but I hope that she at least, you know, delves out. I know she does most of just like the legal part of it, but I feel like other creators, not her specifically, but other creators, when they cover in the case, they do like blatantly ignore the, you know, evil that came out of it, the harassment that Aiden sort of cultivated in a way, you know? He was contacted by a woman named Gina to write about me as a final ditch effort to try. Oh yeah, the Gina lady who paid him $5,000, who is a self-proclaimed psychic. No, she's not kidding. She's dead serious. That's her real story. She had to deal with the last 6 years, 6 years of fucking harassment and just lies, obviously, about her because of him. Right? This, you know what I mean? It's just fuck. Oh, you already posted. I feel like never. It's not going to stop until his ass is in jail, prison, really. You know. The process server had to transfer to the sheriff's department. Why? When you pay a process server, they should be able to serve it anywhere. I know the sheriffs usually do it. The constable, actually. It's usually the constable that comes and serves paperwork. That's good. That's good. Yeah, $5,000 she paid him. So, of course, he didn't give a fuck what was true and what wasn't. He didn't care if any of the shit that he was going to write was true. He didn't look into it, didn't check, none of that. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. I mean, that's just sick. You know what I mean? Like $5,000 to write a hit piece on someone. Oh, he says Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. I appreciate you. He says he will continue to defame. Of course he did. I mean, to be fair, that's all he ever fucking does is defame people. He's now currently dealing with 2 defamation suits. More to come. More to come. That's not the only 2, all right? So there's more defamation suits he's going to be hit with. Those 2 are just the first 2 he's served with. Then there's going to be another and another, right? Then he's dealing with multiple agencies, law enforcement agencies and court agencies investigating him for his current harassment, threats, etc., etc. You know, probably more wiretapping if I had to guess, of course. Social media influences, yeah. I mean, that's weird. You know? Absolutely, my friend, not have you on anytime. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, I want you to take down the thing that you were defaming me with. Not that it, and that's the thing, like, good for you. I'd be asking for fucking money because it's damage to your reputation. You know what I mean? And it can't be undone. It can never be undone, right? The damage has been done. It's been up there so long, the damage will never be undone. So it's like, good for you for not asking for money, but I would be. Fuck that. I would be. You damaged my reputation. You damaged my, you know, your life. You're not just your life, your son's life, right? Like your whole way of being able to like make money, put food on the table. You know, your poor fucking kid was traumatized. You were traumatized. It's like 6 years of having to fight nonsensical bullshit that stemmed from someone paying him $5,000 to write a hit piece. I mean, if we remember, even Jess Machado admits that the article Aiden wrote about her was a complete hit piece. A complete hit piece that had no truth to it. And this is what she says. She says that she reached out to him, but he didn't correct anything. So why would anyone think, and this is the part that gets me when these people run back to him, you can tell it's for money and clicks, because Jess Machado knows damn well that if he would do that to her, he would do that to anyone else. You know what I mean? So I don't think, well, he's just been served. So with her defamation suit. So I showed you guys the front of it when it was first going to be put out. But hers is out of Napa, California. So different style, you know, Kylie can tell us what's available and what's not to go through on it. But obviously different states do things differently. Somebody actually, do you know how many people have said that to me? You know? Oh, thank you. I answer all my messages, even if it takes me a long time. The only time I don't is if I like somehow open the message, which is what happened with yours, Lisa. I opened yours yesterday, and then the cat distracted me. She jumped up on my bed to get pats and love. And so I was patting her and loving her, and then my daughter asked for my phone to play her game on, so I gave her my phone so that I had the space to get it out. But I went to check my email this morning, as I do usually in the morning, every morning. And I checked it this morning, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't respond. So like sometimes I will get, like, I'll be there responding to an email and then get completely sidetracked by the room service guy, one of the kids, the cat, or something else, of someone needing my help, someone calling, whatever, and forget. So if there's ever an email that you guys send and I don't respond to it, like send a follow up, because that means I opened it, looked at it, was responding, and got distracted. It's not my fault, dude. I get brain fog. Part of my like medical stuff is long haul COVID, and I get brain fog. So sometimes my brain feels like it's so full that I forget. It was very nice. Very, very nice. But I told Kylie we would have her on anytime, of course. Of course. Of course. They extracted all my devices and didn't find anything to support their fraud claims. Yeah, shocker. Because they couldn't find anything to support their fraud claims because it didn't fucking happen. Didn't happen. I can't. Yeah, May is going to be a very busy month. May 14th, 15th, 20th. Like there's going to be quite a bit in this next week too. In this next week, it's going to be like one giant Hiroshima bomb. Really. Like there's quite a bit happening this next week here. I agree, he did. But that's, even now, to say anybody is a ratchet while your personal life is a fucking dumpster fire filled with every single thing that you called someone else a ratchet for is something you've done 10 times over. I don't know how anybody takes him seriously. I freaking don't. I really, really don't. I love my kitty cat is my, I'll send it to you right now in the chat. And in case anybody else is ever looking for my email, it is in the description of the videos. If it's missing from one you click on, just go to the most recent ones, because once in a blue moon, when I'm typing out the description, I will forget to put the email in, but it's in this one. I remembered today. Hey, Natalie. Hey, let's pick up the dog shit. So funny. Unlike someone else we know, Wildo. Wildo. Yeah, I do have some Twitter tales for you, including a song that Meredith wrote herself. It's quite catchy. It's quite catchy. Yeah, she did. She went to talk to them. Yeah, my email, it's twistedtragedies3@gmail. Sorry, it says @gmail. See, that's what I get for typing too fast and not looking it over. @gmail, sorry. My yard is pretty much fenced in too, but we don't have dogs. We have cats. And my cat is amazing. I'm surprised she hasn't popped her little furry head in here yet. Usually she comes in and meows at me at least once. Meow. Like, what is it, Dora? Meow. She's very talkative. Is anybody else's cat talkative? Right, the long games will be pleased that you picked it up. I love that. I love that. Let me get, hold on. Oh, hell no. So I'm getting word, and I just want to correct something because this is just completely disgusting. But I just got word that Barry Lewis, the insane man, who can't just realize that, like, someone wants to be left alone and just actually leave them alone, right? Especially because he's got such disgusting people egging him on. Apparently, he had been insinuating that Tom CPU and Nan were sleeping together. I just want to tell you guys that's not only completely and utterly false, that never fucking happened, never would happen, not for nothing, but like, no, okay. Why say something probably isn't true? Why? Because you just want to get at someone? Like, to be like, this isn't the first time that they've gone after like Nan's sexuality, which is just really fucking strange to me. like why you would be going after a grown woman's sexuality. Like I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole with Aiden's dick and Will pushing. All right. And I'm pretty sure she wouldn't either. So let me just throw this out there. That is completely and utterly false. Nothing of that sort ever happened. I can say with 100% confidence that never fucking happened. Never happened. Never happened. That's a good point. I don't know why, like, anybody on X would be concerned about who sleeps with who, but that's completely and utterly false. Nan and Tom CPU, no, not a thing. Barry should probably stop doing dumb shit and saying dumb shit just to get at someone who wants nothing to do with them. Just leave someone alone. It's really that simple. Yeah, apparently that is his new thing. He's now saying that they are insinuating that they slept together. That didn't happen. Didn't happen. Simply didn't happen. I believe it didn't. Yeah, no, like that literally, like, of course we know that that's a lie, but I just have to clarify in case we have hate watchers. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. It never would happen. And Barry's talking out his asshole per usual. Like, I don't know why these people say such wild fucking shit. Like, now you have to deal with the consequences of your own fucking behavior. All Barry had to do was just leave her alone. And it's like, no, just harass her more, right? Threaten her more, harass her more. That makes sense. No, bro. No. Fucking gross. Gross. You know what? I'm going to give you guys, let me find it. Hold on. This is actually a good tweet here from, well, I just want to make it clear. It's not, they didn't, but you're right. You're 100% right. Like, it wouldn't be in anybody's business, but like, no. It's hysterical how fucking insane he sounds. It kind of is like a cartoon character, isn't it? Like, you can't believe it's real life. You're like, is this real life? Is this a real person? Like, are they being serious? She went to the, so she didn't, I'm not sure she filed something, but I know that she spoke with the detectives. They are the ones who would have to file, not her. I'm not ignoring you. I promise. I'm trying to do 3 things at once. I'm trying to find something on another screen, scroll here, pay attention to your comments, and pay attention to my phone. So I apologize. I'm not ignoring you. She went and spoke to the detectives. And I would say that she's got a pretty damn good case of criminal harassment. So it's up to them to choose to file or not. Not her. But if I was them, I would be. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Karma, I told you, that karma train, you guys are going to find out soon, that karma train is in the station, dude. And it's going to stop at every stop along the way of Aiden and his minions who keep doing this dumb ass fucking shit, right? There's a stop for Barry in there. There's a stop for fucking Aiden. There's quite a few stops for Aiden, actually. Probably every stop includes him, but to find out sooner than later that it's not smart to criminally harass people and threaten them. It's not smart. It's really just not smart, you know? Karma is a bitch, you know? And revenge is a motherfucker. You're 100% right, Ruthie. Twitter tells us Springer. He said, what now? Oh, my fucking God, bro. Never happened, bro. First of all, they're so obsessed still with who John Barron is. He doesn't even know who the fuck John Barron is. That's the funny part. Like, what the shut the actual fuck up. Thank you, Kylie. I will pull it right now. Let's see. Getting my email. While I'm getting in my email, y'all want to support the channel, you guys know how. There's a bunch of different ways to do so. We have a link at the top of the chat that you can put any credit or debit card in and enter any amount with any note you want. And then we do have the good old-fashioned Cash App and Venmo. We have Chime and Revolut. The Chime and Revolut are the same as the Cash App and Venmo. They're literally the same. The only difference is like whether it's a $ or an @ depending on the app you use. But they're literally all SKYE3188, all of them. Every last one of them, except for the PayPal. We do have regular PayPal. The email for that is right here on the screen. And then we have my links that work for credit and debit cards. Also Apple Pay. It works for Apple Pay too. Yeah, so I'm sure that she brought that video with her, that video that he made declaring war on Jen Altman and her livelihood. I'm pretty sure she brought that with her, you know, to talk to the detectives. I would, you know what I mean? That's a pretty good fucking indication, you know? And that's the thing, right? And this is what I don't get that the minions don't get. If almost every person who was in his inner circle and extremely close to him has backed out and has said he's a bad person and it is a cult, what part of that are they not quite grasping, right? What part of that are they not quite understanding? Now, a lot of these people, I got apologies from a while ago before they publicly backed out of the cult because they were literally step by step. Like, I kid you not when I say step by step, backing out slowly like this, okay? Including Jen. For months, she's trying to get the fuck away from him, slowly and quietly. Just move on with her life and just get the fuck away from him. But of course, as we know, he won't let her. And I can personally tell you that's what happened, right? That nobody should have to back away from a creator on YouTube like that. You know what I'm saying? They should be able to be like, I want nothing to do with you. You know, every time I say Karma and my little one is home, you can hear her from the other room going, Karma is a cat. She sings the song every time. Karma is a cat every damn time. It's so cute. I'm so freaking cute. Karma is the breeze in my hair in the weekend. I'll stick to my day job. I'm not a singer. Sorry, I'm trying to pull this. Oh, yeah, he's made quite a few threatening her because he's a dumbass. Yes, okay, perfect. Wait, let me see if I can open this on Google Docs just so it's not like in the background of email behind it. Okay, perfect. I opened it with Google Docs just because it's good. So, I mean, I'll show you guys real quick just so you understand and just so the hate watchers don't go, oh, that's fake. This is the version of it. This is the, the real font and all that, but I am not going to read it on that because behind it is my emails. So you can kind of see through it. So I'm opening it on a Google Doc so it like changes the font or whatever, but it's very fucking real complaints. Oh, the Google Doc lets you like click on it and like change things if you want. That's crazy. I just wanted to open it in Google Doc so it's not showing my emails behind it. Because those are private. Sources are private, information is private. So I just opened it here on a Google Doc. But so here's the Superior Court, State of California, County of Napa. He does think that, which is, I mean, it's, oh shit. I didn't see that comment. Hold on. Sorry, Kylie. Hold on. Hold that off, I think. Yes. I can delete it from this. I got you. Sorry. Sometimes I'm late in the comments. I just got to give you my number so you can text me. All right. I'll clip that part out later on. That little 1 second. Okay. I honestly think Grant is mistaken. Okay, so just took it out. All right. Which video? So this is what he was served with today, this defamation suit from Kylie. It says Kylie Kirkpatrick, plaintiff versus unlimited civil action, Aidan Kearney, defendant, complaint for damages, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, harassment, and related misconduct. Introduction. This action arises from defendant Aidan Kearney's publication of false defamatory statements about plaintiff Kylie Kirkpatrick through online platforms, including blog posts and social media. Defendant engaged in a pattern of conduct that included publishing misleading and unverified claims, encouraging public harassment, and coordinating or amplifying harmful narratives about plaintiff. Sorry, I didn't see it until just a second ago, but I'll clip that part out later so nobody will see it. My bad. Okay. And that's the thing. You shouldn't have to announce it, and you shouldn't have to even back away from it. You should just be like, able to live life and not have to worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, a statute of limitations on what? There's a 3-year time clock. I believe it's 3-year time clock for defamation claims. But the fun thing about it is if he continues to defame, the time clock can go from the last thing he said. So essentially, he just keeps setting the clock back on himself a lot of the time. It's just like a dumbass. But this is California. This isn't Massachusetts. This is California. This is Napa County, California. He's been, served. Was it today, Kylie, or yesterday? With this now. He's officially been served. He must not have taken seriously that we said he was getting it. He must have thought it was a jokey joke. I don't jokey joke. Well, yeah, that's, I would rather not. I mean, I know he probably will, but I would fucking rather not. I'm going to clip that part out because I didn't see it right away and I didn't catch on to that right away. I was behind in the comments, but I'm going to just clip that 1 second part out where it popped up. And that's, I mean, you're probably right. You know how he operates, but I'm clipping mine anyway, just because it's the right fucking thing to do. And I wouldn't want anybody to have to deal with the Moon Toon Lagoon. All right, so where was I? Okay. Defendant engaged in a pattern of conduct that included publishing misleading and unverified claims, encouraging public harassment, and coordinating or amplifying harmful narratives about the plaintiff. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's actions, plaintiff suffered significant reputational harm, emotional distress, and economic damages. Defendant's conduct was intentional, malicious, and carried out with reckless disregard for the truth. Of course it was. 2 parties. Plaintiff, Kylie Kirkpatrick, is an individual who resided in Napa, California, and at all relevant times was engaged in professional and community activities that depended on her reputation and public standing. Oh boy. Defendant Aidan Kearney is an individual residing in Holden, Mass, who operates online media platforms, including blogs and social media accounts through which he publishes content to a broad audience. At all relevant times, defendant acted individually and in concert with others whose some identities are presently unknown in publishing and amplifying defamatory statements about plaintiff. Plaintiff will amend this complaint to add such parties when their identities are ascertained. Jurisdiction and venue. Jurisdiction is proper in this court because the events giving rise to this action occurred in California. 9, venue is proper in this court because the conduct at issue occurred in this county and plaintiff resided here at the time. 5 causes of action. First cause of action, defamation, libel, plaintiff versus defendant. Plaintiff incorporates by all reference all preceding paragraphs as though fully set forth herein. Defendant published numerous written statements concerning plaintiff on online platforms, including blogs and social media, in which defendant presented allegations as statement of fact, as he always does, right? You know? Yeah, every time he talks about it, the clock resets over and over and over. And this is why when people kept saying, like, you know, the Alberts and McCabe's only had a certain amount of time, it's like, no, when he keeps doing it, the clock resets itself. So essentially you could wait until whenever you want if he keeps going and going and going, you know? Like going and going and fucking, okay, it was today he was served. Yeah, no one can leave it, you know, unfortunately. No one can fucking leave it all. It's unfortunate. Maybe. It's possible, you know? Yeah, unfortunately, I know enough about civil law, you know, but the clock resets when they keep the defamation up. So essentially, you could go from the last defaming statement they made, and then if they say nothing for 3 years, obviously you have a clock running. But when he keeps doing it, the clock essentially resets itself. So over and over and over, like a dumbass, he just resets the clock, you know? So, okay. Defendant published numerous written statements concerning plaintiff on online platforms, including blogs and social media, in which defendant presented allegations as statement of fact. Plaintiff alleges that these statements were false, including but not limited to allegations that plaintiff engaged in fraudulent conduct, misrepresented her minor child's charitable activities, and made false claims regarding her personal circumstances. Defendant knew or reasonably should have known that these statements were false or acted with reckless disregard for the truth. As a direct and proximate result of the defendant's publications, plaintiff suffered harm to her reputation, loss of income and professional opportunities, and other damages. Second cause of action, intentional infliction of emotional distress. Plaintiff incorporates by reference all preceding paragraphs. Defendant's conduct, including the repeated publication of false statements concerning plaintiff and her minor child over a period of years, was extreme and outrageous. Defendant intended to cause or acted with reckless disregard of the probability of causing emotional distress to plaintiff. Defendant's conduct resulted in severe emotional distress to plaintiff, including anxiety, fear, humiliation, and disruption to her personal and professional life, as it would to anyone, right? As it would to fucking anyone. Third cause of action, harassment and related misconduct. Plaintiff incorporates by reference all preceding paragraphs. Defendant engaged in a course of conduct directed at plaintiff, including repeated online publications and amplification of allegations concerning plaintiff and her minor child. This conduct served no legitimate purpose and resulted in substantial emotional distress, reputational harm, and unwanted contact from third parties. Defendant's actions contributed to ongoing harassment experienced by plaintiff and her family. Complaint, factual allegations. Beginning in or about September 2019, okay, defendant Aiden Timothy Kearney began publishing statements and media content concerning plaintiff and her minor child across his online platforms. Upon information and belief, defendant was contacted by a former acquaintance of the plaintiff who provided information that formed the basis of a narrative about plaintiff. In a publicly available video, defendant acknowledged that he was approached to publish content regarding plaintiff and identified an individual connected to that request. So basically giving up his, quote, sources once again. I don't know how anyone at this point is a, quote, source for him in any capacity, really. You know, I don't fucking get it. It's weird, you know? Not if he keeps doing it. If he keeps doing it, it resets itself. If the clock resets itself once they keep defaming someone. If he keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, that clock keeps resetting and resetting and resetting and resetting. Like, that's how it works in a lot of places. Oh, thank you, Marsha. That is so nice of you. Probably the only person that thought about me. Like, yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you, Marsha. That was so nice of you. Oh, that was so nice. Yeah, I agree. I also confirm stalker, but he's also been like charged with cyber stalking and harassment already before. You know, he's got a history of it, you know? Me too. Gotta love me some good deep diving into paperwork, you know? Paperwork's my jam. Okay. So he basically acknowledged that he was approached to publish it, you know, regarding her, and identified the person who made the request. Right? So the defendant proceeded to publish numerous statements presenting allegations about her as if they were facts, as he does to everyone, as if they were freaking facts. Okay? That's how he does everything. This person did this. This person's bad. This person did that. This person did this. Oh my God, he did not fucking friend request you. Shut the actual hell up. That would be an extra hard no. I'm going to go with extra hard no on that one. Extra no-go. Like big, fat no-go. You want to know why? Because you're a pretty girl. Those messages would go from insane conspiracy theories to weird sexual shit in about 1 week's time. You know? Agreed, my friend. Agreed. Although she knows that because she's a close friend of mine. Abort mission. Stage 5 clinger. Run. I'm telling you guys, I need a stage 5 clinger whistle. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy a whistle, and then I'm gonna use my vinyl onto my Cricut to put stage 5 clinger on it. This is my stage 5 clinger whistle. I'm gonna have to blow the whistle every time a stage 5 clinger is a foot. Abort. So, of course, he proceeded to publish numerous statements presenting allegations about her as if they were facts, you know? Yeah, the AG's office can, but they won't. And that's half the problem is the Massachusetts AG's office could go after his brand for a multitude of things, including false advertisement, deceptive business practice, harmful business practice, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. People could get together and sue them together. I don't know. I mean, if he still, so that's the thing. He was sued so many times that he had to dissolve one brand. And I don't know if he's like opened another LLC or sole proprietorship or what. Essentially, you could go after that. But yeah, if you accepted it. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. So basically, he, of course, presents these allegations about her as if they're fact, as he does to everyone, including me, including Leah, including probably half of you, really, unfortunately. And including claims that he fabricated her minor child's charitable donation and misrepresented personal matters. Now, why is there a pattern? Why the fuck is there a goddamn pattern with him and children? Like, why does he keep bringing people's minor children into shit? Like, why? Fucking why? But that's the thing, is it has to be the exact same, and it's never the exact same. He changes it. Every time he says it, it's different. You know what I mean? Like, in this scenario, the clock reset itself. Hence why she was able to file this. It reset and reset and reset, because it wasn't just one or two things. He would go on and on and on, and it'd be different every time, right? Different this time, different this time, different that time, different that time. Like, and yes, a tweet can restart the clock. Yeah, he said reset it today. He is a dirty motherfucker. He is a dirty motherfucker. So, okay. So it says, well, people just don't care. You know what I mean? Like, that's the other one. They just don't fucking care. If it's not them, right, they don't seem to care. That's the other big problem that I have. Like, a lot of, like, I'm watching so many people watch this scenario play out with Barry. Why am I the only one fucking saying something? You know what I mean? Like, that bothers me. Like, why am I the only one going, this isn't all right? Like, we have plenty of people at the moment who are like, okay, what Aiden's doing is wrong. But, like, when his minions do it and they're rising to the level of like cuckoo bananas, like, that's not okay, right? Like, why isn't there more people saying that isn't okay, or taking it, you know, upon themselves to point out that this behavior is not normal or okay in any capacity, and that he should stop, right? He should stop. He should leave her alone, and just, that's it, you know? Right? A psychic. Didn't you see it coming? Should have, right? If she was psychic. Okay. Plaintiff alleges that these statements were false. Well, of course, we know they are. Beginning in 2019, defendant engaged in a sustained campaign of publication, producing a high volume of posts, commentary, and related media content concerning plaintiff and her minor son. These publications repeatedly asserted that plaintiff had engaged in fraudulent conduct and dishonesty, including statements concerning her child's donation and her personal health. Kylie is probably like the fucking 10th person that he has said, you don't have cancer. You faked it. You must have faked it. You don't have cancer. You're a liar. Now, with no information other than he just doesn't like you, so he's going to say you faked cancer. He said Kevin faked cancer. Kevin didn't fake cancer. He said she faked cancer. She didn't fucking fake cancer. Like, everyone who had cancer faked cancer because he doesn't like you. He said team cancer to Lisa, who has cancer and is going through treatment while his own mother died of cancer. I mean, what kind of fucking person does that? What kind of person does that? I know that you did. And that's the other problem, is that they, you know, enable him. And that's part of the problem, is that they fill his ego, his brain with ego. Like, I'm amazing. And so they just keep going, Aiden, we got you, Aiden, and it pumps his ego up. Any normal person would be able to be like, okay, they can say that all they want, but clearly this is like a bad look. Not him, you know? So that's my problem, Amber, is like, when people are like, oh, poor Aiden, everyone's attacking him. Nick Rocco, why are you attacking Aiden? I'm like, is this real life? Wouldn't you start to question why he has a problem with every single person ever close to him, ever? And it's always everyone else. It's always everyone's crazy, or everyone's a liar, everyone's a scammer, except for him. Like, hello? Why are all these people who don't even know each other, some of which don't even know each other exist, making the exact same claims? The exact same claims. Like, hello? Common sense would say something's not right here. Something is not fucking right here. Obviously, he's not being truthful. That's obvious to anybody with 2 brain cells. I just don't get it. I just don't fucking understand why that is so hard for their brains to get. Hey, biker! I'm definitely feeling better than I have been in a few days. That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. Still feels a little shitty, but better than I have in the last couple of days, that's for sure. Today's Friday, so and I won't be here Saturday unless I do like a nighttime. I might do like an early evening nighttime live, like a 5 to 7 Eastern Standard Time one, because I won't have a Sunday one because it's Mother's Day. But I am sad. I'm sad that I just realized my husband's going to be at work on Sunday. I realized that this morning, like, fuck. I'm sad. It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Yeah, they do refuse to listen. And some of them join in, and that's half of the problem, right? Someone like Barry joins in on all of this, gets themselves involved in a bunch of nonsense, wants to be involved in every piece of drama he can find, inserts himself into all that drama, and cries and whines when someone doesn't want to talk to him. If you guys heard what I played yesterday, he's demanding that Nan call him right now. She doesn't need to call. She wants nothing to do with you. It's simply this. She doesn't like you. Leave her alone. It's not that hard. You are a mom, though. You are a doggy mom. You have fur babies, my darling. You have fur babies. You are a mom. Stop that nonsense. You are a mom. You're a mom. I refuse any other assertion, okay? Those babies you work for 24/7, just like any other mom, right? Oh, that really gets me. I'm going to read the rest of this in a second, but I'm going to make a good valid point here where it makes a good valid point, which is the we drives me nuts. That's okay. It doesn't have to come out of your womb, okay? My mother and aunt were adopted. It doesn't have to come from your womb for you to love it and nourish it and care for it, okay? At one point, we almost took custody of my husband's niece and nephew. They were 3 and 4 at the time. And if that's what needed to happen, that's what we were going to do. And they didn't come from my womb, but I would have been just as much of a mom taking care of them. We were already taking care of them. So, ma'am, I refuse any other assertion other than you are a fur baby mom and you just do just as much work as a regular mom because you are with those fur babies every single day, playing with them, feeding them, cleaning up after them in the same way us moms do with our little minion children. So, just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's always we. It's never me. And again, for him, it's more of a way to get people to do it for him. You know what I mean? Like, it's more of a way to force people to support him by saying, we need money. We have to take down these people who are, these people who are suing me. They're suing us. They're suing us. They're trying to shut us up. It's like us and we. They're trying to shut us up, guys. They don't like our First Amendment rights, right? Not mine, our. It is funny that he says anything about First Amendment because he's constantly trying to shut down my First Amendment, right? My First Amendment to speak, my livelihood, my right? He doesn't give a fuck about the First Amendment. He gives a fuck about his First Amendment. There is a very large difference of being a proponent of the First Amendment and being a proponent of your First Amendment. This is a manipulation tactic. We need money. We have work to do. Like, we need to get together. Like, no. Absolutely fucking not. That is not a fucking thing. Okay? He needs money to pay for his legal bills. He is going to run out of money because the attorney that he chose is an attorney who usually does like more high profile media First Amendment stuff. And so he's going to run out of money to pay this guy probably in the first couple months. And he's going to be screaming from the rooftops that we need to do this. We, right? Time to sell that house, my dude, right? Time to sell fucking house, my dude. Like, to pay for it. It's not we, it's you. Right? It's you because you got yourself into that, right? It's one thing if you have a channel and you're like, we need to raise money for the channel to survive, right? He's well past that. He's over 100,000 subscribers. Money's coming in all the time from different sources, right? There's no we need to anymore, right? There's no we. And it's not we need to. It's not the channel he's asking them to support. It's all the legal shit that he keeps getting himself into. On his own, by himself, right? We need to wake people up from this. That's a we. We need to be outspoken about when we see something wrong, regardless if we like that person or not, to say something, right? We, as a whole, need to do better as human beings and help support one another and help one another when it comes to dealing with people like him, right? And giving people a soft place to land when they do make it out of the cult and realize that they made a mistake, right? We don't need to be assholes to them when they make it out, because then it just pushes them back towards that. And that's part of the problem of why a lot of these people seem to like run back to the cult at some point, is because he'll try to convince them, A, to go back because they supported him probably monetarily. B, he realizes that they have a lot of secrets that they could tell other people about him that he doesn't want out. And D, he does not want them supporting other people he doesn't like. That burns the fuck out of him. Like, he watches my pockets, he watches Brian's pockets, he watches fucking Mike's pockets. Like, I don't know why he's watching my pockets. I don't make shit. So there's no point in watching my pockets, my dude. But he does nonetheless, which speaks volumes. Why do I bother you so much? Why do I bother you so much? Why? Maybe, just maybe, it's because I'm telling the truth and people are starting to realize that that's what I've been doing, is telling you everything he's been doing, and it's the truth. It's the God's honest truth. And they're starting to realize, like, fuck, she was right. I should have listened. You know, it's always we with him. Always we. Then you're a fur baby mom too. You're a fur baby mom too. Very manipulative. I can always connect you guys if you guys don't end up figuring out how to connect on Twitter or something. Oh God, his Give Send Go, he's had that thing for like 3 years now, right? And it's over 300 grand. And if you count up all of his like other, not even just the donations from the channel, but if you count up all the fundraisers he did and stuff, he's probably well over 400,000 in money that he thrifted in that aspect. Okay. If she needs one, I'm happy to help. I don't know how much help we could do on this very small channel, but we will do what we can if it's necessary, you know? Yeah. It's not a good cause. A good cause would be helping someone get a car, or helping someone with rent, or buying someone groceries, or someone's house burned down and they need clothes and food and blankets. Like, those things are good causes, right? Helping him harm innocent people to hide his own bad behavior, yeah, not a good cause. Not a good cause. She's good. Speaking of which, you just reminded me I forgot to fucking text her. Jesus Christ. My brain today, I literally can't. See, this is me being sick in my brain. I forget sometimes that her notifications, I always forget that she doesn't get the notifications because she's using her tablet. So I like always assume that she's like going to just pop in, and that I just fucking forgot, my brain. Well, that's the thing. Like, this whole, like, he's fighting the system, it's corrupt, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing corrupt about, like, if there's anything corrupt going on with the system and him, it's that they have ignored too much of his criminal behavior because they simply don't want to deal with him. That's the part of the corruption we're dealing with. There is no lack of charges that they could have charged him with that they haven't yet, right? In my opinion, the corruption is Norfolk County didn't want to deal with him anymore and the damage that he's done over there. So they simply put their hands up and go, well, unless he does something violent, we're not going to charge him with anything else. If he was in any other county, they would have continued charging him with the crimes that he was committing, right? So if you want to talk about corruption, I'll talk about how they didn't do their job. And because Norfolk County didn't do their job, because they chose not to charge him in a multitude of different cases and a multitude of different crimes, then that then led to him being able to victimize more and more and more people. He'd have been sitting in jail right now, right? He wouldn't have been able to make those victims if they had done their fucking job properly. So if you want to talk about fighting the system, that's the part we need to be fighting, is where they give someone like him more leeway to not arrest them or charge them because they're too afraid of him sending his minions after them and their jobs. I mean, they signed up to get people like him off the street from harming people. It shouldn't have to be physical, you know? It should not have to be physical. You shouldn't have to be punched in the face for them to want to protect you, you know? It doesn't make sense. That's fucking horrible. Kylie said that when she was going through cancer treatment, a friend of hers who lost her dad to lung cancer started a GoFundMe, and these idiots mass reported it, and then it was later taken down. I mean, that's so fucked up, right? I don't think they have. I think very few of them have read that book, to be honest. Very few of them. I just wanted to take everything down. Honestly, he could have gotten way more money from the Napa mob, probably more than $5,000. You know, he's gonna run out of money. He's literally going to have to do like weekly fundraising, like begging is what he's going to have to do, because look up the attorney, Jeffrey Pyle, Pyle. Okay, the guy usually does more high profile, like pricier people, right? He usually does someone who actually is like, you know, a celebrity of sorts, B-list, C-list celebrities. Aiden is none of those. He's a Z-list celebrity. Half the fucking state doesn't even know who he is, even though in his mind he thinks everyone on planet Earth knows who he is. Half the state is like, who the fuck's Turtle? So, I mean, he is going to run out of money trying to pay for this attorney. Right? That's what's going to happen. Is he's going to run out of money trying to fight, and now he's got this lawsuit on top of it. You're gonna have to pay that guy more money. He's going to run out of money. Aiden might be cheap and frugal, so he's probably got quite a bit saved up. But make no mistake, this is a very pricey attorney, and civil cases, just to file the first part of this could cost like $50,000. Just the first motion, the first answer could be like $50,000 or more, or $100,000. The last guy asked for a $3 million retainer to take a case like this on. Imagine, you know, like he's going to run out of money. He's going to have to beg. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a good point. He has had a defense fund before. 2 other times, I believe, in the past. Before the Karen Reed stuff. I am Negan, yeah. Oh my God, hilarious. Well, that's my point, is people should be taking the fact that people like Meredith and Jen Altman and Nick Rocco have stepped away from him and have started fighting back and saying, I've shut up for long enough and now I'm not going to anymore. Enough is enough. And you have to remember how long fear kept those people, you know, specifically how long it kept them from saying anything. You know what I mean? To be fair, I fully agree with that sentiment, Amber. I fully agree with that sentiment. Yeah, I heard the fact that when he originally said he wanted to hold a fundraiser on Mother's Day, like, what a low-life piece of shit. Why not? I heard he said, why not, when people push back on it. Because it's fucking Mother's Day and it's not about you. People should be celebrating mothers, not giving money to you. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know? That's crazy talk. I agree. Some people just won't listen. You know? Oh, yeah. Civil cases cost an arm and a leg, which is why most people don't file them. So imagine the amount of people who would file civil cases against Aiden if they had the funds to do it. Imagine. If I had $100,000 or more, because over the life of a case, it would probably cost a couple $100,000. If I had it, I'd sue him. 100% I would. 100% I would sue him. What the fuck? What in the actual fuck just happened? I don't know how that just happened. If I had that kind of money, I would sue. Imagine how many other people would sue him if they had that kind of money to do a civil case. Civil cases are extremely expensive because you're choosing to do it. You don't have to. And you don't get appointed an attorney. I've seen a lot of Twitter people be like, well, don't they appoint you an attorney? And it's like, no, they don't fucking appoint you an attorney because it's a civil case, not a criminal case. They will not appoint you an attorney in a civil case. So either you hire one, or guess what? You go pro se and you represent yourself, which is always a bad idea. Okay? That's a good fucking point. Why isn't he? Because he hates women. That's muted me too. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the actual fuck stick? Well, to be fair, I was the first. I was before Sean. Friggin' had DHD, drain him dry. But Sean had my back all the way. And of course, nobody wants to listen, but it is what it is. That's what Machado hung up on me when I said all his money is going to lawyers. Well, it is. I mean, to be fair, that's where it's going. you know? So the people who donated to your friend's cancer thing got harassed by the mob. That's just disgusting. That's just fucking disgusting. It's gross. You know? It's fucking gross. It's on purpose, or it's on purpose talk. That's true. Listen, I'm more than happy to help if she needs it. You know, I'm more than happy to do that if she needs it. Like I said, we're a tiny channel. I don't know what we can do, but we can try, definitely. I'm sure something will come out of it. If Kylie needs it, I'm down. You know, got no problem using my platform for that. When it comes to helping people, I'm in. You know, a lot of creators don't do it because it doesn't benefit them in any way, shape, or form. And as a matter of fact, could take away from them. But no, I'm all in on helping a good cause, dude. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, yes. So let me read the rest of this. But yes, he's going to be spending years dealing with this. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan myself. I'm with you on that, my friend. This is my friend Karen. I know her in real life. I'm with you on that too. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the day. It makes me miss my grandmother a lot. You know, she helped raise me, and that lady was a rock star, and it reminds me, you know, Mother's Day reminds me that she's no longer here, you know. That's, she's no longer here, and hubby will be working, so I'll just be home by myself with the kids. I said if I had to pick, I would pick to go to like an arcade or something. That's what I would do. If it was my pick, instead of like, a lot of people go to dinner or lunch for Mother's Day, I would prefer like doing something like going to an arcade with the kids because I'm such a child. But that's not happening. We're gonna just have, I think we're just gonna make some popcorn and do a movie day in, because we do not have the expendable funds for that. Oh, that's nice. Wait, didn't she already get to see the baby once already? But I mean, they were waiting for that the order from the judge, right? I think, you know, I think they were waiting for an order from the judge. I know, I'm a big kid. I would love to just go to the arcade. That would be my Mother's Day. Like, if I had a choice, it would be to go play at an arcade with my kids. That's what I would do. Although I don't have a choice. I'll be at home watching movies with the kids instead, but still. I was, yep. I was, way long time ago. Sean's not crazy. Sean had a lot of information. Aiden was just mad. Aiden was fucking mad that he didn't have it first, you know? He's just mad he didn't have it first, you know? I was like to see his attorney's receipts. I would love to see his attorney's receipts, because you know he's lying, right? He keeps saying that he made more money. He spent more money than Karen on his attorneys, which just simply can't possibly be true. You know what I mean? It simply just can't be, you know? Oh, your eyes I hate having my eyes dilated. I'm sending you all the love, Patricia. All the love. Although, I will say, my eye doctor is a family friend. They were friends with my grandparents. And we lived in the same neighborhood, so I absolutely love my eye doctor. They are the literal best in Massachusetts, and I would recommend them to anyone. So, to be fair, I like visiting them because I get to see them, but I don't like having my fucking eyes dilated, you know? Yeah, I played some of that yesterday in New Hampshire, dude, because I wanted to show some of the wild lies that they were saying, and I wanted firsthand for people to know that they were fucking lies. Like, I couldn't just let that false narrative and bullshit stand as the record of what happened or didn't happen, especially when Barry was lying through his fucking teeth, and then you have idiotic people just like egging him on, like, yeah, you're a good guy, Barry. Yeah, because a great guy definitely like harasses an innocent woman because she doesn't want to talk to him and her family and her children and her livelihood and her, like, what? Yeah, such a great guy. Like, nobody. This is a guy screaming for like mental health help. He's faked his death like twice. Like, come on, dude. Like, this is not. He's not well, and these people are egging him on. Like, oh yeah, great guy, yeah, great job. Like, no, not fucking great job. Bad idea. Bad fucking idea. My oldest just saw the Michael Jackson movie. I said, don't tell me. I haven't seen it, so don't tell me what happens. Don't tell me. Right? I mean, to be fair, I feel like we are all witnesses, you know? Absolutely. 100%. I always tell somebody if they see something like that to send it to me. when it comes to any of his victims. So a lot of the time, I haven't seen anything recently though, but I've been sick for the last 4 days. So, but if you guys do see anything about Kylie, you can send it to her, send it to me so I can send it to her, but make sure that she gets it. It's important, especially for the case to show like he just simply doesn't give a fuck, you know? He was mad. He was mad. I read 2 of Sanchez's tweets, but I didn't finish. Yep, she had him served. He was finally served today. You know? Well, I mean, he already had the writers going against her, but it's not a shock to me, you know? Like, oh my God. Sparkly's asking everybody to come on her panel lately. You know, the grift is real over there. Like, listen, I could have made a ton of money a long time ago by flipping to the cult. It's that simple. If I was to flip to the cult fucking a year ago, I could probably have 2 new cars in my driveway, right? And a nice fat bank account. At what cost? The cost of that is the victims, right? You're just helping him harm people by grabbing onto the back of that and grifting your way through with the clicks and the attention and the money. Like, all of that is blood money. I don't want it. I don't fucking want it, right? I'm all set. It's blood money, okay? Blood money. I know you are, darling. I know you are. No worries. As a matter of fact, before I read the rest of this, then go over some tweets, Twitter tales, I have the last 5 free memberships that Twitter gives me per month to give away. I gave away 5 at the beginning of the show. We're going to give these 5 now. It's just my thank you to you guys, of course. Yeah, exactly. Moral bankruptcy. Thank you. Quit. Exactly. Oh, look at that. My New Hampshire dude gets one. I love that. Elijah Denton, according to Jennifer, Jilly Doll, and Marie Mack. Congratulations to all of you that got a membership. I love that for you, my friends. Oh, yeah. I bet oh, my God. Imagine how much he shit himself when the constable or sheriff pulled up. I don't know if they did a constable or a sheriff, but imagine. To be fair, I did tell him earlier that he should be looking for Silverados. I did tweet this morning and say, if I were you, Aiden, I'd be peeping for some Silverados. Bad talk. I did hear that. The lady was like, forgive me, but you've died twice, buddy. Like, you don't have a leg to stand on in this. Like, there's nothing. And that's okay. I have no control on who it goes to. They're automatic. They go like YouTube chooses. I don't get to choose. So even if you got one, yeah, it doesn't do anything anyway. Like, it gives you guys a membership, but for the channel itself, it doesn't. Like, for instance, those 5 people, they could have bought a membership on their own and I would have made the money. The ones that YouTube gives me, I don't make any money off of them. And that's why most creators just don't give them away. I mean, I choose to give them away because I want to and I like to, like, you know what I mean? But most creators don't because it doesn't make them any money to do it. But I don't know, I'm different, I guess. Again, I sometimes think it's because my grandparents raised me that I have like an old soul and I was just raised on like the old ways of life, I guess. I don't know, because my brain works very differently from a lot of people my own age. Yeah, I mean, it does. It really, really does. You know, he knew he could manipulate her, and I warned her. I said, he clearly thinks he can manipulate you and easily control you. And she said to me, and I said it to her numerous times, and so did Nina, and so did other people. And she said, no, he cannot do that. I've been with a narcissist. He can't manipulate me. He can't coercively control me. And like, me and Nina were like, well, respectfully, Sparkly, like he just did in the spaces we were just in. Like, that is why he would only talk to you. And he didn't want to talk to me. It's because I did not allow him to manipulate. I did not allow him to answer a question with a question, right? I didn't allow him to lie. He thought you were an easy target to manipulate. You would just buy into what he was saying. And he was right? The second that he talked to you, you bought everything he was selling, hook, line, and sinker. Like, you know? I don't think that works that way either, because I think it gives it to people who aren't even here. I've gotten ones for EDB and Mike's channel when I'm not even in the chat that day. So I feel like YouTube just gives them like willy-nilly, you know? I wish they would give us control over who we can give them to, though, you know? I feel like it would be nicer for us to be able to give back to the people we know are always listening, even if they're not in chat. Because a lot of people will just tell me, like, hey, I'm always listening. I just can't be in chat because I'm working, right? So I know a lot of the people that are listening or, watching. And it would be nice to be able to give back to the people who are always here, but it doesn't let me choose. All right. Back to the document here. Okay, here it is. I have like 100 tabs open on my computer right now. It's crazy to me. All right. I saw that. I did see that. There was a guy in a trash truck that he was the one who called 911 about the wrong way driver when the trooper got hit. And it was 2 minutes. He called it in at 40 or 202, whatever it was, 02. And the accident with the trooper going the wrong way, the guy going the wrong way, hitting the trooper happened 2 minutes later. So I think they said 90 seconds. So the trash truck guy who saw the body cam, he called 911 because he saw the wrong way driver on the same side as him, but going the opposite wrong way. And within 2 minutes, that guy hit the trooper and killed him. But I saw the dash cam footage last night. It was so sad. Yeah, he pulled his air horn to like say like, hello, you're driving the wrong fucking way. And he was like pulling his air horn and that person just blew past, So unfortunately, it's just sad. The whole thing is sad. It really is sad. All right. Here we go. We did this one. Beginning in 2019, plaintiff alleges that defendant either knew these statements were false or acted with reckless disregard for their truth and falsity. Despite being placed on notice of inaccuracies, defendant continued to publish and republish the content. Of course he did. Defendant's publications were widely disseminated and encouraged public engagement, resulting in third parties contacting plaintiff's employers, clients, family members, and community institutions. Plaintiff further alleges that defendant's platform enabled and amplified hostile commentary directed at plaintiff and her minor child, including statements encouraging harassment. As a result of defendant's publications, plaintiff experienced intrusion into her personal and professional life, including contact with her child's school, involvement in social services, and disruption to her employment and business relationships. Plaintiff further alleges that statements and content published by defendant were relied upon, at least in part, in the initiation of a criminal investigation against her. During a preliminary hearing, testimony was presented indicating that information consistent with defendant's published content was referenced in connection with the investigation and warrant process. Interesting. That's just shitty, right? The fact that they used his, quote, blogs for a warrant is deeply concerning. Deeply concerning. I love to see you in green, New Hampshire, dude. Because when you get a membership, you turn green. I love that you won one. That's amazing. I love it. Okay. So then it says plaintiff was subsequently arrested. However, the criminal case against her has since been dismissed. Plaintiff alleges that, but for the defendant's sustained publication of false statements and amplification of the narrative, the investigation and resulting arrest would not have occurred, and it wouldn't have, right? Following dismissal of the criminal case, plaintiff contacted defendant for the first time, requesting removal of the false and harmful content. Defendant refused to remove the content and instead conditioned potential removal on plaintiff's participation in defendant's monetized online platform, which is what he always does. Plaintiff alleges that defendant's conduct has caused substantial harm, including but not limited to reputational damage, loss of income, and professional opportunities, emotional distress, and ongoing impairment of earning capacity. Plaintiff further alleges that defendant's actions were intentional, malicious, and undertaken with disregard for the foreseeable harm to plaintiff and her minor child. Plaintiff further notes that defendant's publications appear to have significantly decreased or ceased around 2023. This timing coincides with developments in plaintiff's criminal case, including court findings related to the handling and preservation of evidence. While plaintiff does not have direct knowledge of the reasons for the change in defendant's publication activity, the timing raises questions regarding whether relevant communications, materials, or content were altered, removed, or no longer maintained. Plaintiff respectfully requests that any investigation includes review of record preservation and potential deletion of communications related to these events. Plaintiff reported defendant's online publications and the resulting harassment to law enforcement on or about December 2019. Plaintiff informed officers that the defendant's posts were generating harassment, unwanted contact, and safety concerns for plaintiff and her minor child. Plaintiff was advised that the matter would be addressed. However, defendant's publications and related harassment continued without interruption. As a result, Plaintiff remained in fear for her safety and the safety of her child. Based on the response received and the continued conduct, plaintiff has concerns regarding whether appropriate action was taken in response to her report. Of course it wasn't. They never do anything, you know? Right? A lot of people say that to him, but then he goes even crazier. You know what I mean? They're like, go ahead, write them. I don't give a fuck. I remember Jenna Rocco was like, go ahead, write it. I don't give a fuck. Write it. As a result, the plaintiff has been forced to pursue legal action to protect her rights, clear her name, and seek redress for the damage caused. Exhibit A, index of defendant's publications concerning plaintiff. So these are exhibits, right? The names of the blogs, the names of the shows. He puts her name in there, of course, and her being, you know, talking about her. Then it's, you know, all of these are 2020 all the way to 2023, 2022, 2020, 2020, 2021. All these are 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2019. Like, he never stops, you know? That's what I also said that I, you know, had a fear that Barry's crazy stalking would, you know, and his obsession with Nan would turn into real life. And I really hope he stays far the fuck away from her, unless he would like to be arrested, which may already happen with his bullshit, you know? And then, of course, these are the posts referencing her minor child at the time, all of these ones. You know, all of them. I mean, in the way he names them is on purpose to defame you further. You know what I mean? Oh, you poor thing! You poor thing. Dilated eyes. Plaintiff has made good faith efforts to resolve this matter without court intervention, including requesting that the defendant remove false and harmful content and cease further publication. Defendant has refused to do so and instead has continued to maintain and benefit from the continued publication of such content. As a result, plaintiff has no remaining option but to seek relief through this court. The action is not brought out of retaliation, but out of necessity. Plaintiff seeks only to be left alone and to prevent further harm to herself and her minor child. Despite defendant's own public statements suggesting that individuals should be afforded the opportunity to move on, plaintiff has not been afforded that same consideration. He doesn't give it to anybody, of course, right? Ever. Plaintiff alleges that the defendant engaged in a sustained pattern of publishing false statements concerning her over a period of years, resulting in significant reputational, emotional, and economic harm. The underlying criminal case referenced in defendant's publications has since been dismissed, undermining the factual basis of the narrative that the defendant repeatedly promoted. Plaintiff therefore respectfully requests that this court provide appropriate relief to prevent further harm, to address the damage already sustained, and to allow plaintiff and her family the peace and privacy they have been denied. For general and special damages in an amount according to proof at trial. 2, for compensatory damages for loss of income, loss of earning capacity, and damage to plaintiff's personal and professional reputation, for damages for emotional distress, including anxiety, humiliation, and harm suffered by plaintiff as a result of the defendant's conduct. For injunctive relief, ordering defendant to remove and cease publication of false and defamatory statements concerning plaintiff and her minor child. For injunctive relief, prohibiting defendant from publishing further false statements concerning plaintiff and her minor child in the future. And for costs suit incurred herein. So basically for, you know, all the costs. For punitive damages based on the defendant's willful, malicious, and reckless conduct in amount sufficient to deter such conduct in the future, which 100% is what should happen. You know, that's exactly what the fuck should happen. You know, and I applaud you, girl. You did a great job, and you know he needs to be held accountable. Yeah, they egged it on. I was disgusted in the way that Val and those people continued to egg that shit on. Kazi and Val specifically were worse than the others, but all of them, you know? Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, I played some of it yesterday, and I was like, is this real life? Like, is this is what we're doing now? Like, this is like funny to you people? Like, this is so funny? Pissed at you? Why? For you saying like, hey, just leave people the fuck alone? Oh, she backed out because it was ugly? I thought didn't she leave it there? Didn't she egg it on as well? Like, you're the one running the fucking space. You don't shut it down. You don't tell people to stop. You don't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Oh my God, I've done that so many times, Patty. Oh my God, so many times I've done that where Can't remember my login information. She should have immediately been like, A, stop. B, no, she doesn't need to call you now. Like, she's not calling you. She wants nothing to do with you. Like, leave her the fuck alone. It's not that hard, right? It's not that hard. If someone no longer wants to have contact with you, why are you trying to initiate that contact? Why are you trying to disparage their name? Why are you threatening them in real life? Not just online, but in real life. Why are you doing all that? Like, why? I don't. Only very unwell people do this shit. Okay? Very unwell people do this shit. Hold on. Trying to. Shit. Hold on. I think this would be interesting. I mean, there's a lot wrong with him, to be honest, right? To be honest, there's a lot. I mean, again, this is a guy who faked his death twice. I mean, he needs help. He needs clearly psychological, mental health help. And what's not going to help is people egging on his delusions, right? It's simple. Nan doesn't want anything to do with him. He needs to leave her alone. That's all she wants, is just to be left alone. He needs to stop obsessing over Nan, obsessing over Steve. He needs to leave them both alone, realize that they are in a relationship and would like to be left alone. He made some wild tweet the other day, like, I'm going to save you, Nan. You must be coercively controlled by Steve and someone else. And I'm like, is this real life? She's not coercively controlled by anyone. She's trying to move on with her life with her boyfriend and her family, and you won't leave her the fuck alone. All right? Like, you're totally welcome. Listen, if you need help with the costs or whatever, we'll be happy to do whatever you need. Fundraiser, whatever we can do to help. So you just let me know, and I will happily do it. You know what I mean? They can bitch and whine and come for me. It's not like they don't do that every single day anyway. You know what I mean? Nothing new in my life, for sure. But why does Aiden have a right to raise funds for shit he put himself into, but the victims don't? You know? Like, no. Absolutely not. You know? No. Well, they do. And I pointed that out yesterday in yesterday's show. I know you weren't here, but I pointed it out and I said, they don't give a fuck about Barry. Val doesn't give a fuck about Barry. You know? They don't give a fuck about him. Oh, that guy fucking. Again, I don't know why so many of these people simp for this dude. They're going to realize fairly quickly. They're going to realize when he eventually turns on them or betrays their trust in some way, or when they see the evidence with their own two eyes from the court that they can't deny any longer, you know, it's going to be, they're shit out of luck. You know, they're shit out of luck. Why is this not popping up? Hello, darling. You did miss it. But I said it. I said, these people don't give a fuck about Barry. Give a fuck about Barry. Val doesn't give a fuck about Barry. She was saying that shit to just stir the pot. That's all she ever does, to be honest. Like, she needs the attention so badly, it's there to stir the pot. Stir it. It's fucking wild. Absolutely fucking wild. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. It really fucking doesn't. All right, let's see. While I pull this beautiful song up that Meredith made, and we do some Twitter tales here, do me a favor. If you already haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. Also, remember that Sunday's Mother's Day, so we won't have a Sunday show this weekend. I'm still trying to figure out whether I should do a Saturday 5 to 7 p.m. show or what. Yeah, I mean, the wild lies that they were telling is fucking bonkers to me. Bonkers. But we won't have a Sunday show, so remember that. Today's Friday. I'm not sure if we'll have our Saturday show, so today might be the last day before you see me again on Monday, and next week's going to be a doozy, okay? Also, just a full warning, next week is a difficult week for me. My dad's passing date is the 15th, and we're going to be covering hearings that day, and it's just going to be hard for me, so I might need to, like, shut my camera off and take a breath on that day a few times. just full warning, so that you're not like, is she all right? Why does her camera keep going off? Because I don't ever shut my camera off, unless I'm like eating or something, and I usually tell you guys ahead of time. So don't worry, nothing's wrong with me when I'm shutting my camera off. It's just like a tough day. Like emotionally, it's a tough day, So yeah, it really doesn't get easier. I just feel like time passes, but it just doesn't get easier, like, especially when you lose someone in that way, it's just like something that just sits with you, it just sits with you. It just fucking sits there. And so it's not just me there. It's my sisters. It's tough for them too. And so we have a full week next week of hearings, especially with sewer turtle hearings. And so one of the days is going to be, I'm going to have to like probably shut my camera off a few times, but I don't want you guys to think there's anything wrong other than like, I just need to woosah for a second there. But well, Sunday I won't be here because it'll be Mother's Day, and at the very least I'll be watching movies with my littles at home. I realize my husband's gonna be working, so, which sucks. I didn't realize that until this morning, and then I was like, oh, fuck. I don't think he even realizes that he's working on Sunday, which is Mother's Day. But that's all right. Me and the girls will make popcorn and watch movies, and yeah, we'll do that. We will do that. Yeah, see, I'm sorry. See, that's tough, dude. That's so hard, My grandfather died of pancreatic cancer, and, it took him quickly. It was rough. It was in the beginning of February, but, my dad's hits me extra hard, I feel like, and me and my sister have talked about my dad every morning, but we were talking about this morning, what would he be like if he was here now, with our kids. And, we often have those conversations where we imagine and talk about the things that we think my dad would be doing with the kids, I was 17 when my grandfather passed, so I was still a kid, but not a kid, My sisters were much younger, so thankfully they didn't sort of have to live through that in the way that I did. My great grandfather was very much like a father figure in my life, and it was tough for me. And my grandmother, she never got remarried after that. She didn't, she passed, she lived many more years after that. My grandfather was in the early 60s when he passed of the cancer, and he had already survived triple bypass, 2 heart attacks, and a stroke, all for pancreatic cancer to take him, which is just like crazy. But the brain cancer thing, that's something that's starting to creep into my other grandmother, my father's mother. Her sisters both died of brain cancer. And my grandmother, my only living grandmother, who lives in Florida now, she's already had a mastectomy from breast cancer. And she's now dealing with her 3rd bout of cancer at 89. So we can't put her on a plane for her to come see us, you know what I mean, at that age. And it's hard for her to be in a car for a long period of time. So if we want to see her, we got to go there. And that's a whole, you got to have enough money to save to do all that. So we don't get to see her that often. We get to talk to her all the time. But it's rough. My sister's about to have brain surgery for that. And being only early 30s, 32, it makes me think about my, grandmother's sisters that both passed of brain cancer, because that's the side of the family that it runs in. And my sister's only 32 and just had another baby. She has 3 kids, and it's rough. Like any kind of cancer, thinking about it, like it's a lot to deal with in anyone. Yeah, sometimes I do just need to like vent about it. It's hard. Like there's a lot that goes along with it. You think about what if something happens to your loved one, like you're going to have to step in. She has 3 kids. I would have to step in, you know what I mean? Like, and help with the kids. And I don't know how that would work. And my sister is like the closest thing I have to me, right? Like we're 7 years apart. I'm going to be 40 this year and she's going to be 33. But my sister is the only one of my family that lives nearby, and that I see daily, never mind weekly. I don't have much family that's alive or living. I have another sister that has mental disabilities, so she's in her brain, she's probably the age of like a 10 to 12-year-old, even though she's 30. She has AP deletion. So, yeah, I feel like cancer has affected everyone in some way. That's why I think it bothered me so much when fucking Aiden had the audacity to do that hashtag Team Cancer bullshit, just to hurt Lisa. Like, dude, your own mother died of cancer, and you have the audacity to say Team Cancer? What the fuck is wrong with you? You know? I appreciate you, Kylie. I appreciate you. It is scary when you have kids, you know? And I think everyone has probably known someone who dealt with cancer. We had a friend that had colon cancer, and he was an x-ray tech in Boston. He made really, really good money. Friends with him and his wife, and we painted their whole, they didn't even own the apartment, painted the whole apartment over for them because his daughter was coming to visit, and like he physically couldn't, right? But he was probably, his name was Mark, and one of the most intelligent guys I've ever met. I used to love sitting there and just having these amazing, intelligent conversations with him. And he was so young. He was in his 40s. He was so young, you know? Sad. It's really, really sad. It's very, very sad. I'm sending everybody all the love and hugs for anybody who's lost someone, not just with cancer, but in any way. You know, it's tough. It's hard. It's not something you get over. And as you get older, you have less and less, you know, family members that are alive. And so it hits you hard for holidays and things like Mother's Day. You know, my grandparents, my grandmother's not here to celebrate. And that's tough. You know, that's tough. And it does. I agree with you. It's definitely affected everyone in some way, shape, or form. And I think it's evil, right? Evil of Aiden with his hashtag Team Cancer bullshit. Like, your own mother died of cancer and you have to say something like that? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What in the actual fuck is wrong with you? I can put it in chat, but it's in the description of the video. But I can just... Oh, no. You let me know if you need backup, okay? Like, you know, I mean, they're just realizing now he was served. That's why, because he probably made the tweet, right? So that's, oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Shit, sorry. That's the wrong one. That's the old list. My bad. Hold on. This is the right one. See, this is what I get for, like, doing things and not thinking. Thank you, my friend. I love you. That's the right one. Sorry. That was the old one. The one that the turtle writers started just pulling things off of constantly every day, all day, which was obnoxious until I had to have like Amazon start monitoring like people doing that shit. It's just shitty, you know? Like, it's more annoying than anything else, but it is what it is. Absolutely, my friend. They give me 10 free ones. I just give them away, and YouTube gives them to whoever. All right. While I'm pulling this clip up so you guys can hear Meredith's beautiful new song. So while I'm doing that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. If you'd like to donate to the channel, we could definitely use the help. We're a small channel, and we depend on the kindness of all of you to make sure we can keep the channel running. And it's been rough lately, especially with me being sick. So we could definitely use the extra boost if you can help. There's a bunch of different ways you can do so. We have a link at the top that you can use. That allows you to use any credit or debit card, enter any amount, be anonymous if you want to be. And then we have Cash App and Venmo, Chime and Revolut, Super Chats, Super Stickers, memberships, things of that nature. All right, let's get this. Add. Oh, computer. All right, here we go. This is... Okay, here we go. What do I think about Karen's attorneys for the defamation case? Well, I don't think you're going to see a ton of Alan Jackson because he's not a civil attorney. So you're going to see more of the civil attorneys than you're going to see of Alan Jackson. So you might see him as like a face that shows up, you know, that, you know, works with the civil attorneys behind closed doors. But the arguments are going to really come from the civil attorneys, I think. You know, Rosenberg's going to, like, you're going to hear more from them than you're going to hear from Alan Jackson in a civil case, you know? I think he's really more of just like a background guy, you know, because it's not criminal. And you want the people who are more experienced in the civil to do the civil aspect of it. Although I do think they need to stop playing fuck with canceling things last minute I think there was a valid point raised. Nobody should be doing that. It's not okay. And I don't think both sides are. So judges usually want to see both sides working out issues between themselves. They don't want to see you coming into court and arguing about every tiny little thing imaginable. The problem is that both sides here are not going to be able to, work together. Oh no, this is a song, barely. This is a song. So Meredith says, okay, here's an unedited preview footage from the acoustic studio sessions. Producer credit, anonymous at this time. This is Meredith's new song.
Chain smoking your days away, chiclet mouth rotting into decay. I said that I would let it go, then I caught you bashing down. Oh, you grandpa bully, stupid heart.
I fucking can't. Will don't deserve that shit. Facts. That's a big facts. No worries, my friend. No worries. I think these were the lyrics of I wouldn't have had him up there any other way, girl. Listen, you should have known better. There's no chance I would ever had him up there any other way. Well done, well done. Welcome to our Twitter tales. That's part of our Twitter tales today. It's the things on Twitter you might have missed. The things on Twitter you didn't see. Oh, hilarious. I can't. I mean, this is the whole song, it's unedited, man. Like acoustic versions. Bravo, encore. I mean, to be fair, right? There is no rhyme or reason for why people like Will or the Baker do what they do. They do it because Aiden gives a dog whistle and they have the same audience. So they know that if Aiden's doing it and he's racking up the donations, that if they just follow suit in attacking the same person he just attacked, then guess what? They'll bring in the money. So what happens is Aiden does it, then Will does it, then the Baker does it, right? All the same people doing the same thing, literally the same day or a day after, because Aiden did it. Tell me again how it's not a cult. Someone tell me again. Someone tell me again that it's not a cult. I mean, tell us it's a cult without telling us it's a cult. I appreciate you, Deidre. I love you. They don't make pennies anymore. Y'all should save your pennies. I know all the stores are telling you to give them your pennies, but the Treasury is going to stop making pennies, or they already did stop making pennies. So if you have pennies, I suggest you keep them, because one day they might be scarce and they might be worth money. So if you got pennies, I say keep the pennies. What I thought about too when they said they're no longer making pennies anymore is, damn, my kid's school does penny wars every year, and the class that gets the most pennies, and so what happens is, like, pennies are worth, a cent, a dollar is worth 100, but if you use nickels, dimes, and quarters and you put them in the other classes, it lowers the amount they have. So if they put one nickel in, that means that class has to take 5 pennies away, right? So they play penny wars every year, and the class from each grade that gets the most gets a pizza party. And my kids' class won kindergarten and first grade. So fingers crossed, but I don't know if they'll be doing penny wars because Treasury's not making pennies anymore, But I'm saying we should be keeping our pennies. Keeping your damn pennies. Keep it up. Keeping the pennies. All right. Moving. Let's see. All right. All right. Plots. So there it is. There goes the sewer turtle running his mouth to Nick, right? Here it is. You didn't see this, you're seeing it now. So here's Aiden running his mouth to Nick, right? And what does he say? He says, one of the things I said on there, which was like his stream, was that associating with you was bad for her financially. He means Karen Reed. That has certainly turned out to be true. The amount of damage you're causing with your unhinged, obsessive posts is something marketing schools will teach students not to do for decades to come. Imagine that coming from Aiden, okay? First of all, Nick's not making posts. He's only commented on things. And let's point something very clear out. Aiden has been coming for the Roccos for almost a full 3 years here. He was always jealous because they always had contact with Karen. And so when Court TV wanted to have Nick on, Aiden found out about it and got pissed. Pissed the fuck off. Now, at that point, Aiden had already called Julie Grant's executive producer a cunt. And so they said, we will never have him on again on Court TV, ever again. And at this point, they wanted nothing to do with him. They wanted no part of having him on Court TV at all at this point. And so he told Nick that, and I remember all this going down, he told Nick that if he couldn't go on, as in if Aiden couldn't go on, Nick shouldn't either. And Nick was like, well, didn't you say that everybody needs to get the word out about the case? So shouldn't we take every opportunity to do that, right? Because that would be, I mean, if he was telling the truth when he said that, that would be true, right? Aiden was never telling the truth when he said that. He was never telling the truth when he said, well, everyone should be talking about this. I don't know why people, he wanted to be the only one talking about it. That, it was never true. Like the things coming out of his mouth and his actions are two different fucking things, okay? And so he told Nick, like, you need to not go on. You need to tell them no, that you're not going to go on because I can't go on. Basically what he was trying to do is trying to get Nick to force the producers to only have Nick on if Aiden was allowed to go on. Except Nick wasn't going to do that, right? Because that's like, again, you're trying to blackmail someone. You're not doing that. I'm not going to do that, right? And so he got on the phone and started begging Nick to give him the producer's email from Court TV. Then when Nick wouldn't give it to him, he started threatening Nick, right? The threats came as soon as, he didn't get what he wanted, right? So here comes the threats and the threats and the threats. So eventually what Nick did was he blind CC'd him on an email with the producers of Court TV. And the response from Court TV was fucking hilarious, okay? It was fucking hilarious. The response was, yeah, we know who he is. We have his information. They're basically like, yeah, we want nothing to do with Turtle Boy. If we wanted him on, we could have called him, right? Like, or we could have contacted him. And he got fucking angry, even more angry. And then it pissed him off because he couldn't get a court seat. So when he couldn't get that court seat from Nick, because he thought Nick could force Karen to give him the court seat. So when he couldn't get the court seat from Nick, he was threatening Nick, he was threatening Jenna. I'm going to write a blog about you. I'm going to go to Tully. Tell Karen I'm going to go to Tully. And, she doesn't want me doing that. So she better just give me the court seat, essentially. And, he didn't, people were like, okay, go ahead, write the fucking blog, dude. You're going to look like an idiot. Go ahead, write the blog. And I remember Jenna telling him, write the fucking blog. Write the blog. Who cares? Write the fucking blog, right? And so that kind of behavior, that stuff behind closed doors, like that's been happening for a while. So Aiden, this was way back before trial 2. It was during trial 1, okay? And there was stuff happening right before trial 1. So Aiden has been sort of talking shit by saying little things on his show that only certain people would know is a dig towards them for a while. Then he opened it up a little further and started sort of shitting on them a little more publicly, right? And this is what happens when he does, this is the same pattern he uses for pretty much anyone he does this to. So then when Nick finally responds, right, then it's, the Turtle Riders are like, shut up, Nick, go away, Nick, log off, Nick, we don't know why you're talking, Nick. Like, you're bullying Dr. Turtle Boy, you're just looking for attention, you're doing this, you're doing that. Like, it's like, bro, is this real life right now? For almost 3 years, Aiden sat there and bragged about how Karen Reed talked to him, okay? How Karen Reed talked to him, and he was so special and important because Karen Reed talked to him every day, to the point where he screenshotted signal messages, screenshotted text messages, screenshotted his call log about how much he talked to Karen, because that's how much he needed to brag, And he was sending it out to people in his private circle. Oh, look at this. Look at this. I'm so cool. Karen talks to me. You know, she's not going to talk to anyone else. And I know stuff that not even Nick knows. I know stuff not even this person knows. Like, me. Look at how important I am. Brag, right? So I find it fucking ironic that Aiden says this whole thing. Like, one of the things I said was that associating with you was bad for her financially. How the fuck does that make any sense, considering a lot of the fundraisers they did went through the Roccos? Popcorn and all those other things went through the Roccos. They helped do those. That has certainly turned out to be true. The amount of damage you're causing with your unhinged, obsessive posts is something marketing schools will teach students not to do for decades to come. That came out of Aiden's mouth. Sir, okay? Number one, the only person posting unhinged and obsessive posts is you all day, every day. You spend like 20 plus hours on social media a day, dude. Like, I mean, is this real life? Number two, just taking a look at Nick's profile, he's not making tweets. He's commenting here or there, pushing back on Aiden, but he's not making unhinged, obsessive tweets, right? Okay. Then he says, it's something marketing schools will teach students not to do for decades to come. Sir, you better not talk about teaching. You were literally walked out of a high school as a disgraced teacher by the Dudley police. Who the fuck are you talking about? You want to know what marketing schools are going to teach for decades to come, Aiden? They're going to teach how not to pull a sewer turtle. That's what they're going to teach. They're going to teach do not burn every bridge that you made networking just because you don't like something. That is what they're going to be teaching in marketing schools, is how to not pull a sewer turtle, how to not burn every bridge down because you don't like the result of one thing, how to learn how to network to people and then to more people and then to more people for marketing and advertising. Not, oh, I'm going to burn this bridge with M. William Phelps because he didn't do what I wanted. He makes the stupidest decisions, okay? And then thinks he has the right to tell anyone else about anything. First of all, sir, let's not talk about teaching. You're a disgraced fucking teacher that was walked out by the police, all right? You know shit about teaching, obviously, all right? So Nick responded and said, in quotes, the thing that Aiden said, the amount of damage you're causing. Now, again, that's the whole, like, blame the victim thing, right? Blame the person I'm attacking for causing damage so that my turtle riders will do the same thing. And so Nick puts it in quotes and says, that's rich coming from you. It's expected, though. You blame everything on everyone else. Let me guess, you're going to blame the lawyer you know next for your tantrum this morning? I don't know what that was about with the lawyer you know, but maybe you guys can fill me in. Adam has one real friend. One guy named Ernie. And poor Ernie can't even really defend Aiden online because of all the horrible shit he does, and he knows that he can't defend the indefensible, but he has one singular friend that he's known for a long time, and his name is Ernie, and he doesn't really see him that often either. So I don't know if you'd really call them friends anymore, considering you usually see or at least talk to your friends multiple times a week. He spends more time talking to his minions or followers that he'll say are his friends until they speak up about him. Then he'll say they were never friends, they were followers, in the same way that he tried to say about Jen Altman, which is funny because you brought Jen to your mother's funeral. So I'm pretty sure she wasn't just a follower. I'm pretty sure she was a friend, considering you brought her to your mother's funeral, sir. Okay? Pretending that she's just a follower afterwards to try to distance yourself from the truth, it doesn't work. Okay? That math ain't mathing, my dude. You know? Yeah, journalism schools are going to teach how to not pull a sewer turtle. 100% they are. They're going to say, all of this, don't do any of it. This guy saying he's a journalist, not a journalist. Want to know why he's not a journalist? First thing is ethics. Second thing is fact checking. Okay? Those are the first two things on why he's not a journalist. There are many, 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 many more. Journalism school is literally going to teach a how not to be a sewer turtle class. Like, what the fuck? So my response was, love that he talks about what a marketing school will teach. They'll teach how to not pull a sewer turtle and burn every bridge you network. Funny for a guy who was walked out of his teaching job by the Dudley police to speak on teaching at all. Nobody wants to hear a disgraced teacher even speak about fucking teaching. Lack of self-awareness is amazing on you, Aiden. It is always everyone else but you. You know? Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate you. My morning consists of just like, I'm not a big crier when people are around. Like, I hold that shit in, I it has to really get to me for me to be able to cry with people around, or me knowing that anyone can see me. He doesn't like the way Lawyer runs his show. That's what it was. Reading documents. He favors his bestie Melanie and all of her commentary because she talks about him. He wants the Lawyer to talk about his case, and I'm guaranteeing. I know that he's begged him quite a few times by tagging him. Why don't you talk about my case? Why don't you talk about my case? No one's going to talk about your case, Aiden, because it's not winnable and it's a joke, right? And the only way that they're going to talk about your case is what not to do, what not to do, right? So he's tagged the Lawyer quite a few times because he wants him to cover his case. He wants him to be on his side. And I don't think the Lawyer is going to step in that horse shit. You know what I mean? And I mean, there are some things that the Lawyer has done when it comes to Aiden that I'm just like, it turns me off. Like, bro, listen, you know who this guy is. Like, don't simp for him in any capacity. But then again, there's also times where he just won't acknowledge Aiden, and Aiden loses his ever-loving fucking mind. And it's like, bro, people don't want to acknowledge you. You're a cancer. You're a digital terrorist, sir. Okay? No one wants anything to do with you for damn good reason other than your minions. It's fucking sad at this point. So we have that. Then we have, hold on. Sanchez. Viva la Sanchez. So Sanchez was actually asking Mr. Yannetti here, can he explain why he's going on a fundraiser for someone who threatened, illegally wiretapped, and called your client a see you next Tuesday? Now, the rumor, and again, don't know if this is fact, but this is the rumor for a while now, is that Yannetti and Karen don't even speak anymore. So maybe this is why Yannetti is willing to jump on a, quote, fundraiser for the sewer turtle, considering him and Karen no longer speak. Because that's the only way it makes sense. Oh my God, he does? So you think he does it on purpose? That'd be fucking hilarious. Oh, I do so many what ifs. So many what ifs. So many what ifs. It's awful. Oh my God, this is a Video Jesus parody account. Are you tired of people stealing your cat photo? I will help you fight back against it. So Video Jesus, aka Abby, aka someone who pretends to know tech that really doesn't, and anybody who knows tech would be able to tell within the first 5 seconds of reading her bullshit, has started a GoFundMe so she can file takedown notices of her dead cat. So when people make a meme of her cat or a picture of her cat, she wants people to donate to a fund so that she can legally file these legal notices to take it off their channels or take it off social media. I mean, really though? Like, there are way more important things on planet Earth than trying to take down cat copyrighted pictures on the internet of your cat who's no longer alive. I mean, is that real life? And this is a parody account, but Video Jesus did make a post exactly about this. So the parody account is making fun of her doing it, right? I did not give you permission to steal or use this image and will copyright strike you if you do. Well, here's the thing. When you copyright strike someone, you have to file the suit. Bottom line. You have to own the copyright, and then you have to file the suit within a certain amount of days. If you do not, you can get copyright strike back, and then that's a problem, Okay, so this is Sanchez, and he is replying to one of the perpetrators, Havana, on the stream that Mr. Barry was on, okay? The other day, that we played yesterday. And Havana here goes by the name Aaron on Facebook. So this woman has been a turtle rider for quite some time. Used to donate to my channel. But the second that I switched positions, she committed fraud. She went to PayPal and lied to them. Now, mind you, she would send me Facebook messages saying, hey, did you get that donation, right? She went to PayPal and told PayPal that her credit card was unauthorized and used to get the money back that she had donated to the channel over time, leaving my PayPal with minus like $300 in it. That's called fraud, right? You're knowingly lying to PayPal just to get back at me because I changed my opinion on something and because Aiden no longer likes me, right? So I had to fight PayPal and then provide the messages of her saying, did you get it, right? Provide it to them to show that it was fraud, right? If you're willing to commit fraud on behalf of the sewer turtle said he doesn't like me, so therefore you don't. If you have to be told who to like, don't you think it's a problem, right? If you like someone until the sewer turtle tells you not to, maybe you're in a cult. Maybe you're in a cult. How many people liked all of these people until Aiden told them not to? The second Aiden told them not to, now they're all horrible, bad people, right? So we're talking about the same lady here who's using this Latina, aka Havana account, who has gone on to post people's children, people's families, one of the worst, really, has no boundaries at all, acting this way. I would never act this way. Like, regardless whether I like somebody or not, you're posting people's families, their children, just acting a fucking fool, acting a complete fool. And so, of course, this conspiracy theory about Jason has moved with these people. The conspiracy theory it started with Abby, I believe, and now it just keeps moving on and on and on onto this story that has changed like 72 times. Oh my God, Meet the Pitch continues to be blocked. Oh, the POTUS, that's fucking hilarious. Viva La Sanchez. Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, just the worst of the worst kind of account. Like, she's weird. Like, weird. Posting shit about people simply because, like, Aiden or whoever she's friends with that moment told her not to. Like, that's not well behavior, right? You don't know these people. You're just going based on when someone told you to not like or like someone. If somebody has to tell you who to like or not like, you're in a fucking cult. It's really that simple. It's not that difficult. Not that fucking difficult to figure out. Okay? Hold on. Kylie, I'm being told that Aiden's posting nonstop about you. See, like, this is the stuff that I honestly have to say thank you to you guys for directing my attention to certain things, because I do have the sewage blocked just because he's sewage. He is a digital terrorist. I'll go to his nonsense in a second. But she makes this, claim that the report says Australians hacked Aiden's accounts. Those Australians are friends with Meredith. The Australian that Meredith gave Aiden's password to. They didn't have to give Aiden's. You're an idiot if that's what you think. Yeah, apparently he's crashing out. Is it legal to give out passwords? Like, is that real life? That's got to be the stupidest comment. Is it legal to give out a password? Yeah, it's fucking legal. There's no law that says you can't give out someone's password that you weirdo. Only an unintelligent person like Broyles would. Okay, you're calling somebody else unintelligent by trying to exclaim that giving out a password is illegal. Shut the actual fuck up, dude. I can't with stupid people. So Sanchez says you're conflating someone overpaid for a report with law enforcement has enough evidence to prosecute. Those are not remotely the same thing. An IP address in a private report is not a criminal conviction. To attribute actions to an actual person, investigators would need subpoenas to ISPs and the VPNs, which would include multiple additional subpoenas across jurisdictions, assuming that the VPN providers even retain logs or bother to respond. If an Australian is involved, that becomes exponentially more complicated, as this is now an international incident. And even then, prosecutors still have to prove intent. Unauthorized access, damages, and actual attribution beyond a reasonable doubt. They would also need to care about a personal relationship context where credentials may have been voluntarily shared previously, and allegedly the girlfriend used them to prevent an ex account from harassing her. People on X keep acting like every internet dispute is a federal cybercrime task force priority. In reality, there are no major financial loss, no extortion, and no serious harm. Absolutely nothing is happening. And Sanchez is right. They would have to get all these subpoenas for VPNs, and VPNs are, some people use VPNs to bounce their signal off of other places so you can't track them, right? So for instance, Aiden uses a VPN. He uses a VPN from Cloudflare, which is something I dug deep into a long time ago. Cloudflare, right, then runs through Google, right? So bottom line is Aiden uses a VPN thinking that people wouldn't be able to track him with the VPN. Well, a lot of the times you can't, but he's an idiot, so we could. And so we did, with finding out that he used Cloudflare. But the bottom line is, most of the time, if you use a really good VPN, no one's going to know where your direct location is, because the VPN bounces it off all these other places on purpose to make it seem like you're in different places. That's where your signal is going, right? So a VPN, you'd need the subpoena for the VPN warrants and stuff, and then the ISPs, which are your like signature of, the network you're using, essentially. Yeah, he only got a press pass during the first trial because he was denied it over a dozen times before that. Fun fact, I don't know if you knew that or not, but he was denied it over a dozen times before that. And then I think Bradel threatened to sue them, and then they issued the press pass. Most independent journalists and reporters were actually getting denied press passes just like him in Massachusetts for a long, long time. We were being denied because we don't work for a specific media company. And they were not considering you posting, on your own website or anything like that, journalistic, unless you worked for one of the big media companies. So they had been denying in mass a lot of independent media. But Aiden specifically, because his shit was defamatory. It wasn't journalistic in any capacity, right? It was only when you have Bradel and Bradel threatened to sue or something that they issued the press pass for during the first trial. It wasn't even before the first trial, it was during the first trial, See? You know what I mean? Exactly. That's the whole point of a VPN. That is literally the exact point, bouncing it all over the world so that people don't know your exact location, right? That's the whole point of a VPN. So Sanchez is right? They'd have to get subpoenas for the VPNs, and hopefully the VPN company even keeps logs, or maybe they just don't respond to you and tell you to go fuck yourself, even with one. It's hard, right? No one's doing that because Chris cracked into one of Aiden's fake sock accounts that he used to harass someone. No one in law enforcement is going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to prosecute someone in Australia for stopping a lunatic from fucking harassing someone. Never going to happen, bro. You can, cry about it if you want, but never going to fucking happen. Okay? Never. Yeah, he doesn't like that title. He does not like it, although that is exactly what he is. He's a superfan blogger. Adam, the superfan blogger. So Sanchez, replies and says, I did read the report. It is evident that Bettero's $10,000 fee was an egregious waste of his client's money. The document is riddled with significant typos, including future dated entries for alleged access that fundamentally undermine its credibility and alter the semantics of the findings. A competent professional could have completed the necessary research and drafting in under 2 hours. Consequently, Aiden was effectively billed $5,000 per hour for sloppy, low-effort work products that fails to meet basic professional standards. And that's what we've seen Bettero do before, though. To me, it's very sloppy. I mean, again, the mega motion speaks volumes, dude. That thing is sloppy, repetitive. You put fake medical conditions in it, which is nowhere near professional. No self-respecting attorney is going to file an 88-page, quote, mega motion filled with innuendo, speculation, wild fucking narratives and conspiracy theories, and fake medical conditions. Never mind the fact that it's so repetitive that it could have been half as long. Get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm sorry, but Bettero's not worth 5,000. Never mind 10. I don't know. I guess a lot of people do find him I don't know about entertaining, but enough people watch him that they must find him entertaining, I guess, Barry told Nan that I'm from Philly and have a family in Philly. Oh my God. I have to fucking laugh. I have to laugh because I obviously know that's not true considering I'm friends with you. But that is hilarious. What is funny to me is that Barry likes to try to make people think he's some super secret spy that has like federal ties, who can get people charged with federal crimes, and everyone should be afraid of him and his 24-hour or 72-hour limit that he gives people. He has no ties to anything federal. The federal government actually has notes in their system about how unhinged he is and his activities with his online cyber stalking and stuff. So it's like, I have to laugh. I have to laugh because anybody buying into the I am a super secret spy that can help get all these people charged federally and they're all screwed makes me laugh at this point. Okay, because the shit that he accuses people of is so far off the truth. It's like out of it. It's in a completely different realm of reality, right? He's accusing people of doing all sorts of shit that they simply didn't do, right? Just because his brain told him to. It's and again, that to me, that's like a Grant scenario. Like that's, you know, he does. He literally hates. I've said this for a long time. Okay, the second he started coming after me was when I knew. Like, he cannot stand a woman that's assertive, that doesn't take his bullshit, that calls it the way we fucking see it, right? He can't deal with it. Independent, strong, outspoken. Like, he has a hatred for women, especially women who are strong enough to see through his bullshit. You know? 100%. 100 fucking percent. Oh yeah, probably not entertaining to him. You're probably right. Oh, absolutely. I mean, we did all know that he was gonna like go straight. I mean, as I said when you told me this morning that he had been served, like I knew immediately that meant he was going to fucking lose his ever loving mind. Oh God, I can't. But then Jason replies, I love people asking me to post the report. This moron has been selling lies about the report from day one and not posting it because he knows it doesn't support his claims. Fuck him, I'm not sharing shit. Let him back up his lies if he wants to. And then Sanchez says he's busy acting like he's mulling his options. It's all theater. And that's the thing. It is all theater. They're 100% right. It is theater. It's fucking theater. It's all theater. I don't think he realizes that a lot of people know how crazy he is, to be honest. I honestly feel like he doesn't realize that a lot of us know, like, he's not for real and that it's all a game to him and it's all fucking fake. I feel like he thinks we all believe that he's got some super secret ties to the federal government and he knows the law and we should all be afraid and scared. And anybody who does know the law this much laughs at him with half the shit he says, going on and on and on about fucking joint venture. No one's being charged with joint venture, bro. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes. Do you know what it takes for the government to charge someone with joint venture? More than Barry doesn't like what they said. Okay, let's put it that way. Like, no. Absolutely fucking not. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. See how bad he's freaking out. Let's see how much crash out he's doing right now. I love this. Dr. Turtleboy has blocked you. Oh, do I hurt your fifis, AIDS? I hurt your fifis. TV's newest rampage. I am the canceller. Oh my fucking God. Are you going to cancel yourself, sir? Just wondering. Are you going to cancel yourself? You should probably cancel yourself. You know, you should probably cancel yourself. To be fair, Barry changes his name so often on Twitter. First it was like Grant's rope belt, then it was like U.S. transit fucking funding or some bullshit. He's got more names than I can keep track of at this point. I don't even know what his current one is because I'm not kidding when I say like he changes it by the fucking day, right? I just want y'all to see this. He has blocked me. I must hurt his fifis. I'm blocked. People commenting on his lawyer, you know, trash talk is bothering him. Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. We're going to take a look at that. I think we need some entertainment. I could use some entertainment today. That's for sure. You know, I'm not having a great week. I could use some goddamn entertainment. I mean, this right here, him blocking me, this right here is fucking great entertainment. Dr. Turtleboy has blocked you. You blocked me, Aiden? You blocked me? I hurt your fifis that much?
Can we please not? Can we please not?
I know you can't, buddy, but you have to. You're gonna have to, bud. I mean, I know I hurt your fifis and all, but is there a need for tantrums, sir?
Can we please not? Can we please not?
I guess he's, he's having some, he's in his fifis. He's having some tanties. Ain't having another tanty, just another sewer tanty. That's what we're calling them from now on. We're going to call those sewer tanties. Tanties. He's got shenanies and he's got sewer tanties. Poor little guy. Poor little guy. All right, so what's the latest? The latest is, is this the lawyer you know thing? Okay, here it is. Here's the gaslighting, folks. Warning, gaslighting. Okay, I guess he's now Barry J. Lewis. He's changed back to his own name. Interesting. Let's keep asking about the psychic. Yeah, that probably drives him nuts, right? It's the same way that if you ask him about the psychic, why it probably drives him absolutely fucking bonkers, that people call him the sewer turtle. It fucking literally makes him lose his shit. Like, literally makes him lose his shit. He starts texting people. He doesn't realize that, like, half the people he thinks are friends can't stand him and just are too afraid to sort of back out of it. So the second he starts texting them and bitching, and sorry, I'm turning my volume up, bitching and whining, like, they send it to me. So it's like, bro, the fact that you don't like it so much means I just need to keep doing it, right? Like, because you are the sewer turtle. That's like a fact. Like, you are like shit, right? You swim in the shit, in the depths of shit, because you're a piece of shit. It's a fact. Okay, it's a fact. All right. I don't know where Sanchez is from. Mexico, right, Sanchez? Mexico. Yeah, that's so true. He did write that. So he did write a tweet and say, Kylie, you lied about having cancer. If you didn't, fucking sue me. Well, she did. She sued you. So good job, dumbass. Good job, dumbass. That actually happened. That's a real thing. That fucking happened. All right, so crash out number 1. Okay, again, warning, gaslighting incoming, because I haven't read this yet, but this man gaslights at a rate that I've never seen before, okay? He also can't answer a question without asking another question. So if you ask him something and he knows, like, the answer is not going to sound good or look good, or he's going to look like a liar because everyone knows the truth, he'll just ask the question to you instead of answering the question. Also, when he doesn't like the question, he has to think up an answer, and he's not going to quite, like, gaslight off the question. He's going to give an answer, but he needs to think the answer up. He'll pretend he didn't hear you. He'll go, what was that? Or he'll pretend he didn't understand the question. I don't get what you mean. What? If you see him doing that, you immediately will know he's trying to think up an answer in his head, because he knows the real answer is going to make him look bad. So he's got to think something up on the fly, and he needs a minute to think about it. The fact that his patterns are so, like, all the time the same shit, never learns, is fucking wild to me. It's wild. Yeah, he said Kevin was lying about his cancer, which was completely false. Kevin has never lied about his cancer. He has had cancer for close to a decade or over a decade now. And nowadays, like, cancer like that, you can live a long, long time with experimental treatments and things of that nature. And he tried to say, like, oh, well, you had stage 3 or 4, you'd be dead by now. There's no way you lived that many years, so you must be lying about cancer. Poor Kevin actually felt the need to pull out his whole, like, oncology report and like sign in to his old, like, patient portal. And, like, you don't owe anyone that. Nobody owes anyone that. Just so we're clear, no one owes this piece of shit any proof of your medical conditions or anything else, because by doing that, all you're giving him is the satisfaction that you had to prove he was wrong. Fuck that. I don't owe you shit. I owe you nothing. What I owe you, I'm not going to say it. What I owe you is a good lawsuit, is a good pair of clinkety clankety silver cuffs with your name on it. That's what the fuck I owe you. I don't owe you shit. You or the rest of your idiot minions that believe whatever the fuck you say. No one owes you a goddamn fucking thing. He has no right to sit there and insinuate that Kylie didn't have cancer, or say that Kevin didn't have cancer, or say that she didn't have cancer, or insinuate that my child wasn't born with a fucking terminal illness, because everybody who's ever met my child from the day she was born till now knows that he's a liar, right? Like, my kid has no hair right now, okay? She has lost all of her hair, and she proudly wears it, right? It's starting to grow back, and she's starting to get, like, peach fuzz. But we told her, like, we could get wigs if she wanted. The insurance will cover it, because she lost it from, like, the chemo meds and some of the other meds. And she didn't have cancer, but the meds that they use for her, the chemo, were the same meds that they would use for cancer. And so you know, that and a couple other things sort of combined, the scleroderma and other things combined with her shots and infusion medications, made her lose her hair. And she didn't want a wig. She probably was like, nope, I don't need it. I'm not going to wear a wig. I'm just me. And I couldn't be more prouder of her, you know, but to try to insinuate that someone's child isn't sick when they've been sick since the day they were born and still have a G-tube that they've had since they were 3 months old is fucking wild, considering anybody who's ever met my child, seen my child or my family knows that that's a lie immediately. And because he immediately got pushed back on that, he never tried to insinuate it again. But when he first came after my kid, dude, first of all, why are you coming after someone's sick child? That's just fucking beyond belief. Secondly, trying to insinuate that someone's child isn't sick and they must be making it up is fucking wild, doing zero research. Because if he would have taken 3 seconds, just 3 seconds of time to do any research at all, he would have known not for it to come out of his mouth. Just suing him on that alone would be wonderful. Like, that's half the problem, right? Is they believe him. They believe him. And I don't know I have a question. So maybe I ask everyone who comes in here that says this, like, oh, I used to be a fan of his, but like, I realized he was a liar and that he's a really good liar to some people, right? What was the thing that made you realize it? Like, what was the thing, that one thing that made you realize he's a fucking bold-faced liar? Because everyone says something different, and it's just always fascinating to see like what the thing was that made you realize like he's just a fucking liar. Because as you just said, he will get in front of thousands of people and lie with a straight face with no problem whatsoever, knowing he's lying and pretending that he's the victim. That takes one sick motherfucker. You have to be a pretty sick fuck to make up details of things and spin a narrative, knowing that you are the perpetrator and you are harming the victim by pretending that they're the perpetrator. Like, that takes one sick fucking human being to continuously do that day in and day out. Oh my God, I've said the same thing. That website, I feel like I'm gonna have a seizure with all the pop-up ads. Like, bro, it is not 1991 anymore. Those pop-up ads are fucking crazy, but you want to know why he has them? Because nobody wants to be a sponsor of his, so he has no choice but to do the pop-up ads. Oh my God, you have no idea the amount of people that go into my inbox. The amount of friends, people who used to deal with them, even current people he deals with, like, it's crazy. It's bonkers. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is the lawyer you know. All right. He said, the people dedicated to smearing me are intentionally dishonest. First of all, I find that first sentence fucking ironic. Sir, you have diabetes, uncurable diabetes. You lie like you breathe. And you have the fucking audacity to call anyone else dishonest. I mean, that's amazing. That's fucking amazing. During yesterday's Bus Stop Live, I was urged to watch the Lawyer You Know stream in which he read court documents in my case. I said that I got bored listening to law tubers read court docs because I'm ADHD and not built to listen like that. So I just want to point out that, like, how many times have I told you guys that even when he's in court for his own stuff, never mind trying to, quote, cover a case journalist-wise, that he's not actually listening. He has no understanding of what's actually going on in the court, what anything means. And it's not that he just gets bored of reading court documents, it's that he doesn't understand what they mean, and he can't explain it to his audience, so he doesn't want to do it. He only wants to do like a piece of it that's this big that fits his narrative. He will not go over court documents because he doesn't understand what any of it means, you know? It's that simple. So then he goes on, okay, to say he's not built to listen like that, which I've said many times before, including about Melanie Little, who I respect more than anyone. Well, that fucking speaks volumes. That speaks fucking volumes. You may like to consume content like that, and that's great, but I don't. I just like reading them on my own. No, you don't. I'm reading them on your own, dude. You like making up narratives to go with what pieces you think you can pull from it. And the last, I don't remember any of it. You don't remember. You don't even understand what half of it says. And prefer going to law tubers to hear their analysis of the court documents. And it's okay that some people like things one way and other people don't. These geniuses have wrongly interpreted my statements as me taking shots at Peter and suggested this is because he won't come on my fundraiser. He won't? That's hilarious. For the record, I never invited him on the fundraiser because I don't have that type of relationship with him. Nothing against him. He's just not for me. He's actually pretending that, like, the lawyer you know isn't for him. No, I think it's the other way around there, buddy. I think the lawyer you know wouldn't come on your fundraiser at all, ever, because you're a degenerate. I can't. He's just not for me, so I wouldn't invite him on. Get the fuck out of here. The gaslighting is amazing. It's quite amazing. It's okay when people share their opinions about other people on the internet. Oh, is it? I mean, Aiden, you said it's not, though. You said that it's not okay when we share our opinions about you. You try to silence everyone, so I'm confused. Which one is it, sir? Which one is it? Is it First Amendment or is it not? I mean, you're totally not okay with anybody saying anything about you that's true, that people might actually realize they've been listening to a liar this whole time. That's not okay. But you just said it's okay, so which one is it? You know? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He needed to benefit from everything. That's why. He needed to benefit. Hot meat kettle, yeah. Agreed. That's what he is. In this week's Twitter Tales news, TV says lawyer you know is bad and sex. Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, he couldn't be bothered, you know? He couldn't be bothered to do anything for any other case at all because he knew he wasn't going to get the most attention out of it, you know? Come on. And he knows nobody's persecuting him. That's bullshit. Shit he made up. Hold on a second, guys. I think this is my sister saying my little is home from school. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to run downstairs and grab my little. Okay, hi, sorry. I got a Mother's Day gift from my little. This is my Mother's Day gift. They're tulips. They're so cute. They're hand tulips. And so I said to her, she goes, oh, read this tag for me, of course. And I said, best gift ever. And what did you say?
You say it's the best gift ever. Every year I give you something for Mother's Day or every time.
Every time you give me a gift? Because it is the best gift ever. Always.
So that was more better than everything?
All your gifts are the best gifts ever. Because
no. You're sick. You're sick.
I was sick. Okay. How about a hug then?
No. You're sick.
A high five? Okay, thank you. I love you. Thank you, baby.
You sound my besties.
Thank you, baby.
Ramen noodles hot.
We're going to have to put these. Aha. Aha. My hand tulips. So cute. I love it. I love it. My hand tulips. She's too funny. She's too friggin' funny. I said, best gift ever. She said, you always say that to me if I give you every gift I give you. I said, that's because it's always the best gift ever coming from you, kid. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it was a coaster last year. I got a coaster. It says mom on it. He got a dad one for Father's Day. It was adorable. Okay. First thing, calling him daddy. Second, I was going to donate to Karen Reed, and he wanted name, address. My gut feeling, red flag. Yeah, why would he doesn't need name and address. Like, I mean, for instance, like I think it, like for the link that I have, like pinned to the top, I'm pretty sure you have to like enter like your billing information or whatever to use your card, but it doesn't give me like all that information. You know what I mean? So that is weird to me, right? Like, obviously, like Cash App, Venmo, like that just gives you like a name. It's not like you don't get an address and a number. I think on the link though, you have to enter your card details. So you have to enter like everything just over your card, but it doesn't send it to me. It doesn't give me that information. I don't know how his link works, but I've already said like he's already used that information to harass people further later on. So you definitely always go with your gut. Literally always go with it. You know? Go with it. I think there's a lot of civil cases that are of the public interest, but I think a lot of the time they don't because we don't get courtroom footage, you know, so it's hard to want to follow it if we can't look at it, at least, you know? Yeah, it's clearly a Twitter novel, you know? So he got mad at this Val's Kitchen Roach account that says top is handsome, charismatic, successful man with over 500K followers and is not being sued. Bottom is an ugly dick-nosed man with herpes who has 1/5 the followers and is being sued left, right, and is a felony wiretapper. And so, I mean, he has a lot of burners and bots. I mean, that man has, again, like spreadsheets of the fake accounts, you know? Fucking spreadsheet of fake accounts. That is freaking awesome. That is freaking awesome. I posted a clip from our show where Aiden does indeed discuss inviting Peter onto his fundraiser and pouts about Peter not wanting to come on. Yeah, because he lies more than he breathes, and he can't remember all the lies that he tells, so he just keeps going with them. It's fucking wild. And the fact that his like turtle writers either don't pick up on it or when it's pointed out to them, the fact that they don't go, oh shit, he did say that, like he is a fucking liar. The fact is they immediately make an excuse for it, right? They could be shitting all over someone else for doing that exact same thing. If Aiden wasn't Aiden, he would be writing blog after blog after blog after blog about what of a shitty human being he is. What a horrible liar, a narcissist, an abuser. Like, he would be calling himself every name in the book. He would have his writers attacking him if he wasn't himself. Let's make no mistake about that, right? The fact that the quote writers haven't picked up on that, it's deeply concerning. Deeply concerning, you know? Yeah, but I don't think he did a lot of things he should have been doing as a fucking teacher, to be honest, you know? It's crazy to me. May not have invited him recently, but apparently there was some discussion where Peter made it clear. Yeah, he didn't want anything to do with Aiden. Yeah, I'll talk to Betero. That's not Aiden. Not for nothing, but everybody's starting to realize having any relationship with Aiden only leads to disaster, you know? Yeah, everything he says you can basically disprove with his own words. I mean, it's almost always happens that way. He can't help himself, you know? Just because your fans urge you to watch something doesn't mean you have to watch it. He just used that as an excuse. He watched it because he wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, come on. My fans might urge me to watch something. I don't call them fans. I don't like that word, fans. I don't like it. I think of you guys more as like friends, community. I don't like that word, fans, as if like, you know, I don't know. I don't like that word, fans. I feel like it puts like a distance between me and my community that like they're just fans. Like, no, they're not just fans. They're people. And some of which I have amazing friendships in real life with, right? And I wouldn't have met some of you if it weren't for my channel. So I'm grateful for that. And all of my friendships with you guys. And I just don't like the word fans. It seems so like distant to what it actually is for me, you know? I don't know. You know, he's probably not going to say a damn word about it because most people, you know, won't say anything. They're too afraid of what Aiden's going to say about them, you know? Well, they claim everything is wicked. Anything that calls Aiden out on his shit is corrupt and bad and evil and a scammer and a liar and crazy. You know, everything and everyone. You would think so, right? But realistically, Proctor has nothing to do with his case at all. Never did. Tully is the only one that he targeted, and that's because Tully was the one to arrest him. Tully didn't do anything that was not legal when it came to Aiden's case or anything shady. He just arrested him. Therefore, Aiden doesn't like him because Tully was the one who arrested him. You know what I mean? And of course he doesn't, because he knows they're not corrupt and he knows it's just bullshit. And that should prove to people. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, I mean, it's one thing to read the parts you find interesting and cut out like the extra. Like sometimes in like documents for legal shit, there's like parts that are like they have to put in there that's like repetitive on every document. So you might skip that like front portion or top portion, but then read the meat, right? Like all of what the other lawyer wrote, but not the procedural stuff that's written at the top, you know, like Mass General Law, you know, 5.2/E, you know what I mean? Like here withstanding, you know, like you don't have to read like that stuff, but the meat. But even Aiden don't do that. He reads like one sentence or one paragraph here, one sentence or one paragraph there, and then he twists a narrative around it so that you'll believe that. When in reality, that little blip he read you, he took completely out of its original context to what it really was about. And that is what people don't seem to grasp, right? They don't seem to grasp it. Like he showed it. It's a receipt. It's like, yeah, but he told you it was something completely different than what it really was. Like, what? Like, what the fuck do you mean? I don't remember. What do you mean? I don't remember what I said. What type of relationship? What? See, I'm too far in talking about things. I'm behind in the comments. You're going to have to remind me what we're talking about. Oh, his friend. Talking about his friend, or were we talking about that type? I don't feel like I don't like the word fans. I just don't like it. I don't fucking like it. She doesn't want my cold. Yeah, she doesn't want it. I don't blame her though, because to be honest, it wasn't just me. It was my sister, all three of my sister's kids, my sister's fiance, and my other sister. Like, so everyone got sick. Her and the room service guy are the only people who didn't get sick. So that's she don't want my sickness. He has filed a motion to extend his response until the end of May. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I find that one funny. I'm Elise fangirl. I love you. Yeah, I don't know. Where is that? I don't know where he asks for name and address. It shouldn't be. I mean, I could see like if it's credit card information or billing information, because no matter where you go online, you're going to have to enter that information. Like you have to enter your name, the card number, the expiration date, the 3 digits on the back. And then sometimes it asks for your like zip code. And then sometimes it asks for your billing address and zip code. So, and state. So I don't know. I guess it depends on what platform it is on or what, because he has his own like link. I've never clicked on it. I have no idea. Like, I know that he told me personally that he hired a kid off Fiverr from Bangladesh to make him his Turtle Chats link. That's what he told me. Centigraphs. Oh yeah, that's right. To make up fun of other people for writing all of those, but it's okay for him. Here we go. Here he is talking about Kylie. Here it is, Kylie. Oh wow, it's another centigraph. This fucking dude, he is crashing out left and right. In December 2019, I announced that should we be doing this in like Diary of a Wimpy Sewer Turtle style? Dear Diary. Dear Diary of a Wimpy Sewer Turtle. I'm the turtle, and you should be afraid of me. Very scary. I'm a scary guy. That's me, the scary sewer turtle guy. I'm scary. I'm really scary. I'll write a blog about you. I'll write a blog about you. You want to do this the easy way or the hard way? Will you do this the easy way or the hard way? Your choice. That was his famous line against most of his victims. If you didn't do what he wanted. And they would say, what does that even mean, Aiden? You know what it means. You sure there, buddy? Sure thing. Sure there, buddy. Okay. In December 2019, I announced that we were running a multi-part series, blah, 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 on Kylie, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so basically he just lies further. He just lies further and further and further. I'll make you Turtle Boy famous. Yes, that's the other one. I'll make you fucking Turtle Boy famous. I'll make you Kate Peter famous. Like all the people that he's harassed who just inserts name there or says, I'll make you Turtle Boy famous. The shit that he says is fucking wild. 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 The threats are like, bro, do you forget that you did that? Like, do you forget that this is what you did over and over and over? I know, like, who does that? That's the part that gets me. Like, why, which is why I didn't read that part. Like, why target a child? That's fucking weird. Like, you know, he tries to claim he had discovered through an extensive investigation. There was no extensive investigation. He didn't investigate shit. He got paid $5,000 to write it, and he literally already admitted that. So walking that back now is kind of stupid. I interviewed dozens of people in the community. Oh, you mean the same people that paid you $5,000 to write the hit piece? Yeah, because that's definitely doing your work correctly. That the entire story was a lie, that she had profited from it immensely, which is simply not true and also has been proven not true. You know? The post is from 2019 before I was arrested, and see how he removes the date and posting my daughter's name. Of course he does. Yeah, the kids are off limits, except, but like only his kids, of course. Right? Yeah, he removed the date. Because, of course, Kylie points out that he's not a real news source, and he's not, and he's a gossip columnist who takes money for posts, which he did. That's a fact. It's a fact, okay? That's a fact. And he was accused of being inappropriate with a young woman. That's also a fact. What Kylie wrote there is a fact, provable fact. He has said racist shit, and he has been ostracized in his community. Both facts. Those are both facts, okay? Respected media sources are required to do fact-checking and vetting of sources, which is what happened on countless occasions with your son's donation story and everything following that. There are the hate bloggers who accept payment in order to make a name for themselves. Please be wary about what you share. It doesn't hurt us at all, but it may reflect poorly on you for being so gullible. Our team will continue doing what we've been doing all along, which is helping millions and millions of families and children. There's so much goodness in the world. Be part of the light. Have a great day, everyone. I love your post, Kylie, because unlike him, okay? Oh, wow, what a fucking idiot. What a fucking actual idiot. Hey, Aiden. Hey, Aiden, I bet that phone extraction is biting you in the ass right about now. Guess that's biting you in the patootie. Yeah, he is using a 7-year-old post. It's amazing to me that he's putting it out there as if this post is something Kylie just made. This is the post that he is like putting on there. He takes the date, right? It just says 4 hours ago. So it's a screenshot. That's how old his screenshots go back, folks. Okay. That means he's had this screenshot all that time. That's how long he keeps shit. Like, that's fucking wild, okay? And he had to dig for that. That's not at the top of his deck, right? He had to go all the way back years and years and years to find this specific screenshot to make this ridiculous post that he is crashing out about. He is crashing the fuck out. Crashing out. Oh my God. So he tries to claim that the fraud had been happening for years, which is simply not true. And she was being aided and abetted by the media, who was happy to lie for her. Like, that is so fantastical to say. Like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, because it says Happy Friday on the bottom. Is that why? I can't. I literally can't. When she found out I was going, and so then he claims, when she found out I was going to expose her, she preemptively posted defamatory statements about me, which is so funny because nothing in there is defamatory. She literally, and all of this is verifiable, he's not a real news source. He didn't even have credentials back then. He was just a blogger, kind of like he just is now. It's not real news, bottom line. It's a gossip column who takes payment for posts. That's a fact. He took payment to write hit pieces. That is an absolute 1,000% fact. Verifiable, by the way. Okay? There's some bizarre hate floating around on Facebook right now pertaining to my son's platform. If you were to check, the owner of that blog is a disgraced teacher in New England. That's a fact. What's defamatory about that? Nope, that's a fact. Who was accused of being inappropriate with young people. That's also a fact. Also verifiable. That's verifiable. He is also an admitted racist and ostracized in his community. Both things are facts that happened back then. He did admit back then. He said, I'm fucking racist. I don't care. I mean, that shit happened, right? That's a verifiable fucking fact, right? He was ostracized in his own community. He's outside the school committee screaming he's a sex goblin, bro. Like, hello, verifiable. There's videos and audio and posts of all of this, right? Respected media sources are required to do fact check and vetting of sources, which is what happened on countless occasions with her son's donation story and everything following that. Then there are the hate bloggers, like Aiden, who accept payment in order to make a name for themselves. Please be wary about what you share. It doesn't hurt us at all, but it may reflect poorly on you for being so gullible. Everything that Kylie wrote in that post that's old, like, what is it, 2019 you said, Kylie? 2019. Everything she wrote in that post is 1,000% true. So point me to the deformation, Aiden. Point me to where one of those things isn't true, sir. Please point me to one of those things that is not true. You can't. Because all of that is verifiable. All of it. All of it. In your own words, from your own shit. How fucking embarrassing. How emasculating. How emasculating. Oh no, he talked about the Sandra Birchmore case for about 3 seconds, saying that like maybe she just had a kink of being raped, or maybe she was coercively controlling the older gentleman, and some chicks like that shit. Like these are the assertions he was making about the Sandra Birchmore case. And in the beginning, he said, "Oh no, she killed herself," even when everybody else was like, "Yeah, no, definitely not." You know. Someone commented it was 7 years old. So, of course, he says, oh, she's attempting to smear me, but it didn't work. As a result of my reporting, I was contacted by the police and helped with their investigation. No, you lied through your teeth. And that's how they obtained a warrant, which ultimately is a problem for them because you can't get a warrant based on false information of a man who's knowingly lying. And I just want to laugh a little more about this right here. I want to laugh a little bit more about this. It's all in your extraction, Aiden. There's no fucking point in denying any of it at this point. You can lie to your minion until the cows come home, but you admitted it all in your extraction to other people on your phone. I mean, you're not a smart guy, right? Didn't anybody ever tell you not to put things in writing? I mean, how fucking dumb are you? Really? Honestly. Like, really, honestly, how fucking stupid are you? I can't. Not a smart guy, you know? Not a smart fucking guy at all. So he says that, including that I was paid to write the articles. Sir, you already admitted that you were paid to write the article. I don't know why you would bother lying now. That I was accused of being inappropriate with students. It doesn't say students. Does not say students, sir. It says young people, and you were. You remember the Giants game, right? I mean, there's an article. The victim herself talked to someone. They're like literally did an interview. Like, she doesn't say students. She says young people, and that's a fact. Okay. And I am a quote admitted racist. She attempted to smear me, but it didn't work. It didn't work. What do you mean? All those things are true, bro. Like, all of those things are true and verifiable. Like, come on, man. 6 years later, she is suing me. Yeah, she's suing you because you're a liar. And I don't know, maybe your phone extraction definitely helped to prove that you're a fucking liar and that you knew you were lying and you just simply didn't care. Simply didn't fucking care. Most of you probably had no idea who she was, but now I'm going to make sure everyone knows what she's done. Okay, so make sure you screenshot that because that's just another threat, right? She's suing me for defamation, but now I'm going to make sure I blast your name and thing everywhere and defame you some more. I mean, this guy is not smart. You're being sued for defamation that you admitted in your own phone extraction, sir, okay? And that you've admitted outside of that in many different forms, like being paid for. You've admitted that 1 billion times, okay? I don't know why at this point your next idea would be to threaten someone and say, now I'm going to make sure everyone knows who she is and what she's done. You mean by suing you because you're so angry you need revenge? Because that's what this is all about. He's being sued and he's mad. He wants revenge. It has nothing to do. There's no defaming. All of that was true. And all of you know that that is true. In his own words, he's admitted all this shit. Like, come on. Make no doubt about it. She'll be embraced by the TBDS crowd and already has been. Oh, no. She's been embraced by people who help your victims because you're a lying piece of human garbage, right? You're an oxygen thief, as I would say. And I would like you to stop thieving my oxygen. You know, good people need that oxygen and you're just thieving it right, left, and sideways. But, you know, this is what I mean. Like, there is just so much shit. This man can never admit any wrongdoing. It's everyone else's fault. It's a victim's fault. Like the TBDS. Who the fuck makes that shit up? Like, bro, there is no such thing, sir. Okay? There's no such thing. There are people who found out who you were and know exactly what you're about because they watched you do things that are illegal and unethical and disgusting. And there are the people that you lie to on a daily basis who haven't quite figured it out yet, that have no idea what's happening behind closed doors. That's what you have. People who know who you are, people who haven't quite figured it out yet. That's it. I have a message between the cop and Aiden. She's warning him about witness intimidation, and the cops sued the Napa PD and lost. Yeah, I saw that she sued the Napa PD and lost. It's called karma. You know, it's called karma. First of all, why is a cop warning him about witness intimidation? That is highly improper for her to be having any conversation like that, like with him. Like, especially if he didn't bring that subject up, right? So unless someone called it in and said, hey, he's intimidating me, there's no reason for a cop to be like, hey, and watch out for witness intimidation. Just like, you know, calm down, chill with that stuff. Like, clearly the girl was a turtle rider. That's what it tells me. And that tells me she should have never been working on that case to begin with because there's a bias. That's you know what I mean? The fact that he has to post something 7 years old and make it appear to be new is extremely telling. But this is what he does. He takes, quote, receipts, right? And either manufactures them, pretends they're brand new, pretends they were just written, takes pieces out of it, adds pieces to it, right? Like, this is what he does. Writes fake emails, then says someone else sent it to him, writes fake text messages and inserts someone else's name and says, this person's attacking me, go arrest them. You know, he tries to have people charged with false charges, have people charged with false charges. He's had Kylie charged, he's had Ashley charged. Both their cases are disposed of. Right? They both had to fight Aiden's fucking lies. Kylie for a little longer than Ashley, but nonetheless, those two cases, okay, are not the only two cases where he's tried to have someone charged with crimes they didn't fucking commit. Lindsay, Meredith, the list goes on, bro. On and on and on and on. I mean, he's deranged. You know, for a man who thinks the cops are so corrupt, he sure has them on fucking speed dial. They're so corrupt, but you can trust them to call the cops on people to try to have them arrested for things that they didn't do to get them shut up. Sir, that's called witness intimidation. Okay? That's a crime. It's a crime. It is a crime. It's fucking wild. You know what I really want right now? And I don't know why. I really want like a good meatball sub. I don't know why that just came to my brain. I want a good meatball sub. It's a Parmesan. It's some pickles. Oh, that sounds good. I don't know why. I'm hungry, so my brain just was like, that sounds delicious. Don't mind me. I'm hungry, and I can hear my kiddo picking something off the snack cart for a snack, and so my brain was like, ooh, warm meatball sub. I don't have any meatballs, though. I don't think I have any ground beef at all. We use a lot of ground beef. We make a lot of different things. Stuffed peppers, pasta. A lot of pasta. Although the red sauce lately is giving me heartburn. So he's crashing out. Actually, you know what I didn't check? His replies. Let's see. Still blocked, guys. He still doesn't like me. Hurt your Fifi's AIDS. Hurt your Fifi's. You wouldn't take Lana's call. You know what? Sad. He didn't like to take. He didn't like that. He didn't like that at all. Okay, let's see. Sir, I don't think you understand what 1/5 means. Yeah, okay, that's all right. Let's see, what else? What else? Would you rather listen to analyzing court documents? Or who would you rather listen to? Brother, counselor, or lawyer you know? Not the simp for you. No, you can't. I can't do it because I'm blocked. I can't see what the result was. That didn't work out how you wanted, huh? Better get on your burners and vote. So I guess obviously the lawyer must have won. Defense Diary said the fuck. Well, hey Bob, no offense, but like we all tried to warn you. Aiden's a piece of shit. Like he'll do the same thing to you eventually. Declare. Oh, this person. I'm a fan of yours, TV, but going at lawyer isn't a good look. He's fair and balanced and stays out of the drama. He doesn't let anyone tell him what to do with his channel, much like someone else I know. This person. Why do you do this? Most people listen when driving, cleaning. I hate when YouTube people comment on how others operate. It's yucky. Also, I'll never complain about Peter taking a whole stream to read. Okay. Oh, this person who simps for him endlessly. This Lindsay chick. Literally endlessly simps for Aiden. Endlessly. What are you doing here, Aiden? What is your goal here? Where on earth did I claim to know motive? That's why I asked. I can't. During a time where he needs more support than ever, it just seems like a weird thing to do. So it made me curious why. No, it's not a weird thing to do, Lindsay. This is what he does. Right? This is what he does, darling. He will just attack people for no real reason because he's jealous, mostly jealous, or mad that they don't do what he wants. And in this case, it's because Peter's not covering his case the way he wants it. He's not giving the answers Aiden wants to hear. It's that simple. It's not hard, right? It's not hard. This is the part of the show where I ask you guys to make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Get yourself a membership if you already haven't. We gave away some earlier, and LTG was so kind as to give some away earlier. If you can donate to the channel, we would appreciate it. We were sick a couple days this week, and that was not helpful at all. And so we could definitely use the extra boost and a little bit of help. So we have a bunch of different ways you can support the channel. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. We have Chime and Revolut, and then we have our link that's pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description of the video, along with our Chime and our Revolut and our PayPal. I appreciate y'all. He did a poll. I swear to God. I swear to God he did. No, I haven't moved on. I'm gonna get there. Someone texted me. I'm gonna get there. I promise, Rose. I'm on my way. I'm on my way over there in a second. I wish he had a bit more self-preservation sometimes. Yeah, fucking right, dude. He's on emotion. He's crass and abrasive, and that's why people are drawn to him. That's not why people are drawn to him. He's a liar. He's a version of themselves that they're afraid to unleash. I don't think anybody's afraid to unleash what they fucking think, bro. I think people don't want to be pieces of human garbage. He's a piece of human garbage. There's a big fucking difference. Peter covering TV's cases is only a positive, so I was curious what the end game was. It's not a positive, because if Peter is balanced and fair, Aiden's not going to get the results or answers that he wants to hear, and I think he already knows that. That's why he's already gone for the attack, right? It's because he knows that his case is not a winnable case, right? He's shot himself in the fucking foot 72 times. All right, let's see. All right, we're going to back. Oh, I love that, Patty. How's your eyes, darling? Are they a little bit better? I know it's been a little while. Usually it takes, what, like 3 hours or 6 hours for them to, not dilate? This pen in my hand is not helping. Okay, hold on. Scroll, 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 scroll. Kylie, you have a beautiful comment on the screen if you're only listening, darling. So I just want to show you guys this. So as this person says to him, why are you ragging on lawyer? No, he is awesome. He simply doesn't do the drama. Respect that. And Aiden said, no one's ragging on him. Shut up and learn what words mean. See, the second you don't say something he doesn't like, he tells you to shut up and learn what words mean. What does that even fucking mean, dude? You sound stupid. Learn what words mean. Learn what no means, sir. Because you're such a toddler, you don't even know what no means. Okay? Me and Kylie have talked privately, of course, and she knows that she has my full support in anything that she needs dealing with this fucking monster, as does any of the victims who I've talked to dealing with him, Okay. Where is it? So Aiden's trying to like, because I read you guys the comment that Nick Rocco said, the amount of damage you're causing, which is what Aiden said. He said it's rich coming from you. Aiden's like, the best part is that you watched. Nobody watched, bro. This is a clip, sir. It's a clip, sir. Nobody's gonna take the time to watch your whole show. We didn't watch. It's a clip. See, these are the good parts where we don't have to watch your whole show. We can just see what a degenerate you are in a fucking 28-second clip or a 50-second clip. Like, come on. You have no idea why I created this poll, yet you post as if you do. That's what he said to that lady who said, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing here? I fucking can't. This person says, dude, stop. And goes, oh, stop what? What do you mean? What do you mean? No one's going at him. Calm down. I can't. I can't. I literally can't. You know? He just shits all over the people who follow him, the people who support him, the people who have had his back. Oh, here's the clip of Lana who wanted to ask him a question in case y'all didn't see it. He did not want to answer the question. Apparently he does not like being recorded or you know, he doesn't like hearing that it's live tape. So.
Hey, Turtle Boy, it's Lana. I'm live to tape. What's up?
He just hangs up. Just hangs up.
Well, there you have it. Unlike him, I won't call him back.
He doesn't want to answer questions,
what
guys.
A pussy. Well, I tried to see if I could play May 17th. That was my question. What time's my slot at? I guess he didn't want any of that.
Sorry, this was funny. You don't want to answer any questions. All right. You don't want to answer any questions. Those pesky questions. He says that he can learn what words mean. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah. He's having a tanty. We're now calling these sewer tanties. I've dubbed them the sewer tanties. So he's having a tantrum. He did not grow out of the terrible twos ever. Oh, thank you, Pat. I appreciate you. Oh, Pat says $25. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate you, my friend. Oh, thank you. Have a wonderful day with my family. I will. Well, with the kids at least. The room service guy will be at work. He did not grow out of the terrible twos. He's having a sewer tanty. Learn what words mean. Like, you learn what words mean. You don't seem to know what the word no means, okay? You clearly don't know what words mean, sewer boy. Because if you did, you wouldn't constantly lie, right? So maybe that's the problem. Maybe you're not actually lying. Maybe you just don't know what words mean. I don't know. Have another fucking meal of food, you clown. You can't. I fucking can't. All right, now. Oh, so here he goes, right? He says he's not a racist and he's not a, bigot and he's not, he has no discrimination problems. He doesn't have any of those, right? Now, someone asks him a question about Lana, and he says, why would I want to go on that non-binary thing show that no one watches? She's not non-binary, okay, first of all. And sounds like you're mad, bro. You didn't want to answer questions. That's what it sounds like. You're upset that you didn't want to answer questions, bud. All right. Sorry you didn't want to answer questions. You're a fucking pussy. Moving on. All right, let's see what Kate posted. Being directed. What the hell, computer? All right. Oh. Oh, man. So Lindsay's case has been disposed of, which I predicted would happen because they have immunity. Right? There was a better way of doing that, but she did not get good advice. before she did it. So it's been canceled. She tried to sue Cosgrove and Tully, and the judge said no. No, absolutely no. And again, they have immunity, so it would be comments like prosecutorial immunity or implied immunity is a thing. You can't sue the prosecutor for making a mistake. There would have been a better way of going about that for having your whole extraction released to the internet. That wasn't the way. I don't know who gave her that advice, right? But it was bad advice. It was bad advice. It wasn't good advice. Not fucking good advice. Nonetheless, it's Carly said it's done, canceled, done. Looks like she didn't serve people correctly, so it was canceled. So scheduled on 5/7/2. So I don't know. Hold on. I don't know when. I don't know what else. Like if they're going to reschedule it because she didn't serve them properly, or if they disposed of it. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Sewer Tanty merch is a fundraiser I would happily support. Right? Sewer Tanty. That's what we're calling it now. I could totally make some cups, some shirts. I do love my Sipping on Turtle Tears cup. I do love it. I don't know where, like, this just kind of popped into my head, like, just out of fucking left field. And I was like, that's a good one to drink. I'll be drinking my coffee and I'll just be sipping on the turtle tears, I love it. I love it. Well, it's definitely apples and oranges. Aiden doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about half the time. Wait. Mike? Gaffney? I'm so confused. What the fuck? Okay, so McCabe, Higgins, and Alberts versus Karen Reed and Aiden Kearney is Rule 16 conference scheduled on the docket for May 20th at 2 p.m. 2 p.m., folks. 2 p.m. Maybe. I don't know how they... that's a question probably for Kylie. Kylie, do you think he's going to have to go to California for that, or do you think they'll do it like via Zoom to do the suit? It's a good question. I'm not sure how California operates when it comes to that. And because it's Napa County, I'd have to look into that unless Kylie knows. She might know. She can answer it if she knows, but that's a definitely good question, whether they might do it Zoom or he'll have to go there. I mean, remember, folks, that aside from May 20th, May 14th, May 15th, Aiden has upcoming New Jersey court cases, too. So, I mean, doesn't look like he's getting out of the May 20th at 2 p.m. The hearing for May 20th is the civil, and that's 2 p.m. Okay? I have the other ones written down somewhere, but that's absolutely it's going to be a busy week next week, Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I have a feeling Alan Jackson's not going to help him. So 14th, I believe. California has ADR. So what does that mean? That mean like you have to be there, or will they'll do it online? No, the New Jersey stuff is cyber stalking and harassment, and I forget what the other one, but it's similar to that. So it's not the leak. Oh, I can't. It's hilarious. But what I'm saying is it's going to be a very long week ahead. Oh, you have to try mediation first. Got it. A lot of the times, different courts in different states do that, where they force upon them to try to meet with a mediator and try to mediate it. they can't mediate it, then it goes forth, you know? So, which one? Oh, I love that. Which one? There's two New Jersey victims, Donna and Lindsay, both of which I adore. But I just talked to Donna the other day. I got to call her, as a matter of fact. I was sick, and I was like, I took a nap and I fell asleep, but then she was at a doctor's appointment, so maybe he's supposed to have legal issues in all 50 states. Imagine. Just check that one off. New Jersey, California, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. You know, just keep going, bro. Just keep going. Connecticut. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Right? Wildo can then meet him maybe in Tennessee. Maybe he can go get some legal issues there. Sorry, my little was looking for the cat. She's like, I mean, you know where the cat is? Unless she's probably in my closet because the door was cracked open and she was in there this morning. She likes to hide in corners during the day. Oh, his motion to dismiss. Yeah, that's, oh God, I can't remember if that's the 14th or the 15th. His mega motion, you mean? His, quote, mega motion, the Betero and the purple crayon motion? I think that's the 14th, I believe. I have it all written down, but I believe it's the 14th is the mega motion. Yeah, so you have to try mediation first. That makes sense. In some states, they do that. You know, they want you to try to get to a resolution before the court, and you waste time and money. You know what I mean? Alternative dispute resolution. That makes sense. Right? Only if someone pays for his plane ticket and his hotel and all of his drinks and, you know, so on and so forth. He should stay in Tennessee. We don't want him here. We don't want him here. I'm gonna fly all the way out, bud. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even though it wasn't even just taking shots at will not that long ago, because I mean, ultimately, we all know it's going to lead to that. I mean, mediation, I feel like, is always beneficial, even if it doesn't end up working out. It's the court trying to resolve it before you're spending $300,000 on a case. You know, if you can resolve it first, resolve it first. If you can't, then you go for it. What choice does he have? Right? You can go in there and he could say, no, I'm not taking it down. And the judge can say, okay, well, a reasonable offer was given to you. All you had to do was take it down. You're refusing that offer. So don't complain to anyone when you have to spend $300,000 in the next 3 years fighting this out, my dude. Right? I mean, what choice do you have? He can continue to fight this and the other thing and what's to come, or he can make a deal, mediate, and take down the defamatory bullshit and move on. Right? So for me, it's like, if you're a supporter of his and he doesn't just take down the defamatory stuff and make it, you know, mediate to just take it down and end the case, like, then why should everyone else have to fucking pay you, give you money for your legal fund? And to be fair, it was legal defense fund, as in, like, you know, not civil, but criminal. So why should everybody pay for that if you're not doing anything in good faith? You know, that's fucking crazy. But I knew she was in my closet. I was too, but that would be great, you know? That'd be great. He basically said that's not the smartest person in the room and doesn't pretend to be. Well, he does. He basically did say he's not the smartest person in the room and doesn't pretend to be. The problem is he does pretend to be. He pretends to be the knower of everything that is right and good. And it is his and only his job to, quote, call everyone out, call out the ratchets, right? Except he is ultimately the king ratchet, right? So how does one whose entire personal life being a giant dumpster fire think that they have the right or the audacity to talk about anyone else's life? It's amazing to me the lack of self-awareness that him and the rest of his minions hold. What right do you have to judge or talk about anyone else, right? The second someone talks about his parenting or his kids or something, he throws a tanty, right? A sewer tanty. A giant sewer chanty. Ah, how dare you? How dare you? But then he's got no problem reciprocating, going after. He's been going after people's minor children for over a decade. No problem going after minor children for a fucking decade. You know? Oh my God. That is embarrassing. That's pretty fucking embarrassing. Offered to let him stay with her if the case went to trial. Like, that would be such a mistake, because all you have to do is point to the fact that the person who paid him $5,000 to write it is allowing him to stay there during the case. Like, as if that doesn't prove that they cohorted together to try to harm you. Like, hello? Like, how fucking stupid does one have to be? Oh, he's talking about Will. That's what he was saying, is he's not the sharpest critic. Oh, that's nice. That's what a nice guy Aiden is to you, Will. You know, that's your buddy, that's your pal, that's your friend that you screwed Karen Reed over for. How much you kicking yourself about that now, you know? Although I feel like you'll probably be kicking yourself even worse later on. You know, because eventually he absolutely is gonna, you know, do more. He basically called him a dumbass. That's hilarious. Ah, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. See, this is why I say there's more to come, right? There's more to come. Aiden has a lot more problems coming his way on that karma train. Choo-choo, bitches. Like, that motherfucker's got a lot of stops before it ultimately gets to the station on the opposite side. And more than not, his stops are not good for him. Not good. Not good at all. Not good at all. He's not doing so hot, all right? You know? I have a donation that just came in. I love the comment on this one. I'm not going to read the name because it's somebody's real name, obviously, and I would not do that. But they say, hold on, it just didn't pop up. Come on, you can do it, phone. You can do it, phone. You can do it, phone. I don't know what my phone's doing right now, but it's doing whatever it wants. Instead of, she said, this is for wouldn't touch Tom with Aiden's dick and Will pushing. I did say that earlier. I did. And see, I can't be responsible for the things that fly out of my mouth. So thank you for your $5 donation. I appreciate that. Sometimes I just can't be responsible for the crazy shit that flies out of my mouth. But I wouldn't touch Tom with fucking Aiden's dick and Will pushing. No, thank you. And neither would Dan. No. 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 Fucking no. So yeah, he basically called Will a dumbass. Well, that was the other day. I don't know if he's gone further since then, but that was the other day, you know? So who knows? Who fucking knows? But I mean, again, like, this is why I tell you guys, like, there are far more things sort of happening behind the doors than people realize, I feel like, okay? There's a lot, like, Aiden has done a lot to a lot of people. And he's got a lot of consequences on that consequence train. I'll tell you, there's several other things happening behind closed doors that he's gonna have to answer for, right? Like, the consequences are a thing. If you do shitty things to people in bad faith, you know, there's laws. There are laws that you can't break. And he's got no problem breaking them. And then, like a dumbass, he admits shit to other people in writing or in person, and those people eventually figure out who he is and have evidence of him either doing it or saying it, or something like his full phone extraction makes its way into the world and just does all the work for you, you know? Does all the work for you. Yeah, I don't either. People have to alert me to certain things because I don't watch his show. I'll watch clips that people send me or important pieces that people send me, but I will not watch his shows because the gaslighting is fucking unimaginable. And also, I'm not giving him a view. Fuck that. Fuck that. Oh, right up the ass. Nope. With no lube. Nope. Absolutely the fuck not. Nope. No chance in hell. No chance in fucking hell. So, you know, it doesn't shock me that he's crashing out right now. You know, it does not shock me because he's going to be, I mean, this is, as I said earlier in that comment, Aiden, you might be checking for them goddamn Silverados soon, sir. I mean, if I was him, I'd be like a crackhead peeping out the window, right? Like, I don't say shit to say shit usually. So, Usually when I give like a tidbit like that, you might want to listen. I feel like sometimes he simply doesn't listen, and then later on I get to laugh and point about it. It's like, I kind of warned you a little bit, bud. Just saying, like listen, like if I were him, I'd be like a crackhead peeping out the windows, looking for them fucking Silverados. Like, I'd be looking at every car behind me, every car in front of me. Like, what's it like to live a life knowing that you could be arrested at any point because you've committed so many crimes that you don't know when they're going to show up? Most people don't live life like that. I don't live life like, oh, the cops are going to knock on my door and arrest me, because I don't commit crimes. I don't do shitty things to people. I don't commit crimes doing that. So I don't have to worry about that. His excuse is always like, well, the government's corrupt and they're just after me. But they're so corrupt that you try to file false charges on people when the cops won't do it. And you manufacture evidence. But they're so corrupt you trust them with all that all the time. Makes perfect sense. I guess so. I mean, I didn't watch it, but I guess so. He was making like an innuendo, basically, that Will's not a smart guy. To be fair, I don't think they, quote, broke up, but that's only a matter of time. Once again, it's not an if, it's a when. He'll shit on every single one of them, Jess included, Ethel included. Like, what the fuck? What in the actual fuck? I fucking can't. All right, hold on a second. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. He didn't take it out, but he did basically call him stupid. He basically called him stupid. So it's like, bro, that was only a matter of time. We all knew that was going to happen. You know what I mean? It's going to get worse. Like if Will didn't take offense to that and say anything back, it's because he's scared. That's the bottom line. If he didn't fucking fire back, it's because he's scared and afraid. And for what? You threw away relationships with other people all to back that dude who wouldn't piss on you if you were on fucking fire. How stupid of a decision was that? And he's gonna realize fairly quickly. Aiden will throw him right under the bus if he thinks it's gonna save himself, even if he didn't do anything. He said he isn't the smartest person in the room and doesn't pretend to be. Actually, he does try to pretend that he's smart. I mean, they all do. It's unfortunate, I missed it too. I didn't see it. But I had been told that he had said something about Will. I just wasn't sure what it was exactly, because I don't watch his shit. No, thank you. I'm good. No, thank you. No, freaking thank you. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm hungry. I need to figure out what I'm doing for dinner. I'm starving. I haven't had anything today other than my coffee. So I got to go figure that out. Room service guy is going to be home in about 2 hours. And I have to break the news to him that he's not going to be home on Mother's Day. I don't think he even realizes it because he just switched his days from Sundays to Saturdays. So, yeah, to be fair, I have to agree with you. It's not really an insult because he's not the best judge of anything. Never mind intelligence, just anything at all. It's not the best judge of his own life, clearly. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Do me a favor. Yeah, I don't know what live stream it is in. Maybe someone else can tell you like the name of it. I have no idea which one it was in, or how far in it was. I'm not sure. But several other people saw it. Right, the only time he was ever right and didn't lie. Facts. I love your stinking faces. I don't have a Sunday show because Sunday is Mother's Day. So I'm thinking about attempting to do maybe a 5 to 7 on Saturday. We'll see how that goes because I'm not sure what my husband's plans are. He will be working on Mother's Day, so I'm not sure if he wants to do something on Saturday instead. I don't know. I have no idea. So I won't really know until later on tonight, and then I can make a tweet and then make a YouTube post and let you guys know. I do from time to time make little posts on YouTube, so you can keep an eye out for that, and then I'll let you know. And if you're on Twitter, you can just see it there. But I'll figure it out when he gets home tonight. So I'd say by 9:30-ish, I'll know tonight. I'll know whether I'm going to do something tomorrow or not. But if I don't see you before Monday, happy Mother's Day to all of the moms and grandmoms and single dads and fur baby moms. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope everybody has an amazing Mother's Day and or single Father's Day and or you're a mom of a fur baby day. And on your way out, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, change your notifications to all. A lot of people aren't getting the notifications from time to time when YouTube messes with the algorithm or changes things. A lot of the time, your bell notification will go to some instead of all, so you won't get the notification. So just go back to the little bell from your notifications and change it to all, so you always get a notification when we go live. And you'll always know. I do usually post on Twitter like right after we go live or right after I hit the button to go live. So you can always find out that way too. If you'd like to support the channel, even if you're catching me on the restream, we appreciate it. We could always use the support. We have a million different ways. If you'd like to support the channel, we have Cash App, we have Venmo, we have PayPal, we have Revolut and Chime, and we have a link that works for any debit or credit card. All of that is in the description of the video here. It's pinned in the chat as well if you can see it on replay. And it pops up here. The Chime and the Revolut are the same as the Cash App and the Venmo. They're literally all the same except for the link that we have for debit and credit and PayPal. I love your stinking faces, and I will see y'all real soon. Bye, everybody.